Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi, everyone. I'm Metro News TV meteorologist Susie Martin. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a series of fronts that will be impacting us, bringing in rounds of storms today, and yet another one arriving for the weekend. So planning on some more active weather. The big concern at this point is the flash flooding risk, because we do have a lot of moisture to work with. So we'll talk about that. But these fronts are also going to keep our warmth in check. So just as temperatures start to warm up, we get hit with a cold front, kind of evening everything out over the course of the coming days. But here's today's setup. We have this area of low pressure that will be tracking a cold front our way, hence generating rounds of thunderstorms. We also have this disturbance along the east coast, which is going to actually give some oomph to some of those storms. There is a more elevated risk for severe weather for our friends in DC, but some of the storms across eastern and southern West Virginia could be a bit on the strong side. However, the main concern is the flash flooding potential. It's marginal, so not everybody's going to get in on intense rain, but the downpours are very real. We've got a lot of moisture to deal with, so localized flooding cannot be ruled out. Please be mindful of that. We'll keep those thunderstorms in place through tonight, turning scattered in coverage and then beginning to clear out tomorrow for a time before we gear up for the next disturbance, which arrives for our Friday evening. All right, it's time now for a CRW Fly Forecast connecting West Virginia to the world, looking at some of the destinations here. Florida in particular, I'm going to make note, it's been very hot and muggy there, along with pretty active weather, and that looks to be the case still as we go forward. Our temperatures mid to upper 70s across the region with, again, thunderstorm threats for today. Some of our communities getting into the 80s like Moorfield and Petersburg. How about Pineville at 82 degrees? Here's our extended forecast. We mentioned those cold fronts keeping the heat in check, mainly in the 80s and 70s.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. For your entertainment, Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Or call 800-765-8255. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, hello, West Virginia. We are back for more. Was there ever a doubt in the 304? Time to get it done in the 681. Time to start this 3-hour audio tour for Thursday, August 20th, 2026. Metro News Hotline. Metro News Hotline comes to you from the Salango Law Studios. Visit salangolaw.com. Coop, would you like to guess the current temperature? Here in Charleston, WV, the big town right downtown, 1111 Virginia Street East. Salute.
I'm going to guess, let's see, it seemed to be a little cooler when I came back from lunch. I haven't been outside since then, but I saw the lay of the land, and it seemed to be getting a little dark and a little windy out there. So, I'm going to say that we might be like in the very low 80s or something right now.
Chris Lawrence from the Morning News, he knows about these things. What do you think the current temperature is here in Charleston right now?
John Stallworth?
No.
Oh.
You're going to have to think more defensive line.
Oh, we're in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mean Joe Green?
Get a little higher than that. Think a little Dwight White-ish.
Okay.
Go 78 degrees in the big town.
Okay.
How about
Bruce Smith.
that?
That's some Bruce Smith action there. Yeah.
Look at that. Chris is much better at this than I am, man. I am terrible at jersey numbers.
I'm pretty good when you're in the line. Once you get in the 70s in the lineman.
Nice.
Hey, you know what? I'm sitting here talking to Chris, and we're talking about the fact we got the TV fixed in here. And
it is fixed.
It's fixed? Oh, man. Yeah, it's like there's double barrel action in here. There's a monitor of what's going on the Metro News. And then I've got my other stuff that I keep monitoring in here. So
Great.
we're operating at least 73% efficient.
So is the shopping network having their vinyl sale?
But one thing Chris just told me, when you come in here, what time do you get here? What time you walk in?
Somewhere in the neighborhood between 3:10 and 3:40.
That's not my neighborhood.
Roughly 12 hours ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Whenever, to come full circle, earlier this week we were talking about your key pass to get into the building.
Yeah.
And where it went bad and I had to make you a new key pass and everything. It's interesting. The next morning when I finally got it loaded up and all the errors of the night before went away and I could get everything on your new card put together, it flags like irregular use. And by irregular use, it's just like use that's really, really early or really, really late. Just to let you know if somebody's using the cards. It's like all of my irregular use entrances are Chris.
Nice.
It's just like this falls outside of the hours of normal operation.
But you know what he told? But he blew my mind. Chris, you have to reset this clock in here every day.
Yeah.
Now, see, I was looking at this
I invested
clock.
real money in that clock
I
too,
thought
and it
this
does
was
not
like-
keep time.
Yeah,
I thought
it's-
this was like an atomic clock, like
It is.
the clock of
It
God.
is.
It doesn't. I
But
don't know what the deal is.
I don't know what the deal is. When you put it on GPS, it's worse.
Right.
It never syncs up with where we need it to sync up to. And so every morning I have to take it over there, and it's kind of a pain to reset because you can only reset it at the top of the minute. So you've got to, and if you go 10 seconds without moving it, it'll just go back to what it was, and you'll have to start all over. So it's a whole thing.
This is one of those
It's a
crazy
thing.
things. This is one of those crazy things that I did actual research into buying that clock on like a radio forum, asking other people in the business what kind of radio works for them, and gave like a budget. And I got a bunch of people that recommended that exact model, and man, it does not work at all.
It's easy to see. I will give it
Yeah,
that.
there's
You
that.
can
There's
see
that.
it.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
I do too. And now yesterday, and this happens from about once every 6 months, but it happened yesterday. And as I said it, I'll accidentally get the minute wrong. So I'm in here just working away, and I'm like, all right, I got about 60 seconds here, and I'm just typing away, and A Train drops the mic in my ear and goes, "You're on." And I looked over and I was like,
What?
It's like 15 seconds after 5. I got 45 seconds, and I flipped it over to where I'm supposed to be monitoring. And sure enough, the music's almost done playing for the open of the morning news. And I thought, well, this is a problem. I got to fix that thing again.
I do like
yeah.
it. I do like it. Your name came up twice this week on the show.
Explains why my ears were burning. I
Well,
guess. Yeah.
okay. But let's get to the most recent thing first. Coop, I said to you yesterday about 5:33, we revisited that topic from In or Out about Johnsonville blueberry sausage.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we had this, that was the food of the day yesterday for In or Out. Johnsonville blueberry sausage. You got dried blueberries that are inside the breakfast sausage.
Why would you want to do that?
Well, okay. Well, here's where you come in. Okay, everybody was out, and I go last, and I kind of succumb to the peer pressure of Coop and Ryan.
Yeah.
And we talked about it a little bit after we got through a hard break at the bottom of the 5 o'clock hour, and I said, if Chris eats this, I'm going to change my vote. I'm going to change my vote, and I'm going to say it's okay because I like Johnsonville as a brand. I like blueberries. I like sausage. So if a big heaping, steaming plate of Johnsonville blueberry breakfast sausage was here right now, would you eat it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Coop, would you like to change your vote on this?
There aren't a lot of things that I would say no to, though. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, although I did have a problem with Ryan the other day when he disparaged.
Join the club.
He disparaged those of us who enjoy a good oatmeal raisin cookie. What's up with that?
What is up with that?
I mean, he actually said that we needed to be committed to a mental institution, I think was his exact phraseology. And I was thinking, man, I ought to come in there and work you over. I love oatmeal raisin
I wonder,
cookies.
was that while I was gone? I don't remember
glad
that.
to
I heard
hear-
it on the during the morning news, people who
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
people
yeah.
who listen online during the local breaks of the morning news that listen at WVMetronews.com,
Right.
there are fillers in those positions to keep the dead air down that we can hear segments of this show replayed. And that was one of the that's where I heard it. Was one of those segments was replaying, and Ryan castigated those of us who like oatmeal raisin better than chocolate chip. And I was like, I need to say something to the boy about that.
Coop, didn't I have that as a pick one for you?
I think you did. It was for Ryan.
For 2 weeks. Oh, maybe it was.
You were doing a pick one with Ryan.
With Ryan, that's right.
That makes sense.
Right.
That's probably when I was on vacation.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
I got a little distracted. I'm kind of following this Cardinals-Reds game. You seeing this, Coop?
No. I
saw a grand slam there. How many? What inning was
I know.
that?
I had a fever dream. And in this fever dream, Matt McClain hit a grand slam.
And he just did.
Well, but now the Cardinals have scored 3 in the ninth, and they lead the Reds 7-5. So it's one of those days. It's one of those days. The other time that your name came up this week, I was on vacation last week, and when I flew to St. Pete in the hottest point of the year, my HVAC system was dead and it had to be replaced. So I was literally sitting in my 100-degree hot box when I looked down at my phone and you sent a picture of one of your meals.
Oh, really?
And I was just like, I'm so glad that somebody's having a good day because I'm not. And I was just looking at this. There was just so much good stuff on that plate. And I was really, really miserable that day and couldn't even think about cooking because I was actually cooking. Myself was cooking.
Glad I could pick up your day there.
Yeah, you did.
What was it? Because every meal I ever make, I send one to you and to Coop and to my former co-host Shauna Johnson. Out of habit, I just send it to her, too.
What kind of stuff does Shauna say? Because, my responses are usually like, whoa, wow, that looks great.
Oh, she'll give me like a dissertation like it's 'tis the season, very vegetable forward. I appreciate that because Shauna's big on the fresh produce. She likes that.
Oh, so. That is
and a good cook in her own right.
Yes, she is. But I sent you, I think the last one I sent might have been the when I went full-on Appalachian, and I had, like, country fried deer steak with gravy and potatoes that I had smashed.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And a big old bait of green beans, a big old pot of green beans I just fixed.
That's the one.
It was full-on Appalachian night.
Are you fired up for high school football?
I am.
Because you better be, because you can't get out of the way now.
No, it's a coming. In fact, a week from tonight, We'll be ready to open the season.
We got scrimmages tonight.
Yeah, lid lifter though is a week from tonight.
The lid lifter.
Yeah, the old lid lifter.
Toe to leather, son.
Yeah, we'll on CHS here in Charleston. We'll debut with South Charleston and Nitro from as they call it in South Charleston, the other hill.
Oh, that's right.
We're bringing back the 3-person broadcast, which I'm a big fan of.
Oh, nice.
Matt Guitar Murphy is back on the team.
Dream team. Well, we have multiple dream teams here, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, college football. I saw this last night, and I'm glad you're here, Chris, because I was going to talk to Coop about this as well. So there's a lot of people who are really angry about season ticket prices that are going to be in effect at Penn State beginning in 2027. And some of these season tickets
I'm not angry about it. I don't care.
Well, but here's where I'm going to get to. Here's where I want to get to in this story. So for some of these people, their season tickets are going to go up like 400%.
Oof.
Going to go up 400%.
Well, you're putting NFL payrolls on the field.
And that's been the point. That's been the point from the media that surrounds local college teams is always very, very interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's a situation where no matter what the school does, it's right. And you've got to defend it. So I was watching a couple of guys who have been covering Penn State for decades talking about this yesterday, trying to make excuses about it. And one old boy said, you know what you need to do is you need to go to the tailgate and then don't go to the game and watch the game on the big screen. And I'm thinking, now, wait a minute. You're asking me to drive to Happy Valley, which is close to nothing, okay, spend $1,000 a night for 2 nights minimum in a hotel, then go to the tailgate, and then not go to the game? That is not happening. Not happening. And this happens with virtually every college program. Anytime there's any sort of significant ticket price increase, where you have guys who have virtually never paid for any tickets ever, trying to make you feel guilty for not going to these games and spending an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny and pretty unrealistic.
I've not gone to a game in a long time just for that very reason. I don't have the money
Right.
to do it.
Right.
You know.
It's crazy how these ticket prices, how these things are going. Only tangentially related, but it fits into the economy of the whole thing. I was seeing where they're trying to nip in the bud this issue with scalpers for cinema tickets because there's so many movies that are being released into special formats like these special presentation formats in IMAX and so forth. And those tickets are basically by reservation. You have to make those months in advance. And so there's people reselling these things for hundreds of dollars now. A $15 movie ticket. That's pretty ridiculous.
Since we've gone to electronic ticketing, though, has that cut down on scalping? Because I just don't see the guy out there on
there's sites
Chestnut
where
Ridge Road holding his phone in the air.
Yeah,
going,
you don't see that
"Here's
anymore.
two."
Yeah, I think there's sites where you can do it, and I don't know if there's some places that allow resale. I'm not sure how that works.
Well, yeah, I think StubHub is like the official reseller of certain places. They've got a deal with StubHub for the secondary market. But the days of talking to the dude chomping the cigar with like 11 tickets in his hand and doing it, waiting till game time and getting a cheap ticket.
You know what? This might be a question of the day if you've ever bought scalp tickets.
I've bought scalp tickets.
Yeah, I know. I think it might be a good question today because there's a real generational cutoff there, I bet. Because I've bought it too,
right.
But I bet there's a generational cutoff.
And there's an art to it as well.
I mean, I've walked up to the guy in the street. I've been in New York City and got Reds Mets tickets just by walking up to a guy in the street who was selling tickets just out of his coat pocket.
I bought one to a Tennessee game one time. I missed kickoff, but I made it by like the third play of the game, and I got the ticket for like a third of face value because at that point the guy was just selling it for whatever I offered him.
Concert tickets are kind of funny like that too because sometimes if there's like an opening act that you don't want to see but you're really interested in the headliner, once the concert actually begins, the guy who's scalping the tickets, they're just going to be worthless in a minute. You can really get a big discount there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, and there's a way to do that online as well. It's funny in the concert ticket business. It's almost as if the earlier that you buy tickets, you would think that would be the best time to buy them. That usually doesn't work out. Those tend to be the most expensive.
I'm finding that I'm not adapting very well to the electronic world. I bought tickets to, it was to the Joan Jett, Motley Crue, that the Poison tour that they were doing.
That was a good tour.
Back before COVID. I got online and it had me in a queue waiting, and I was like 9,000th in line or something. And I'd never done that before and haven't done it since. I don't like that.
Let me just give you a quick update. Oh, the Reds, the Cardinals are still batting.
Oh, great.
They put a 6 spot on the board now.
They're going to
top
10 run
of the
them. Are they going to have a 10-run mercy
Well, they've
rule?
scored 10, but it's now 10-5. And one of the reasons I bring this up is because this is a really unique situation. I put up a poll on Twitter about an hour ago, and here's the setup on the poll. In southern West Virginia, there are some West Virginia fans who are also Reds fans. Who do you want to see win the National League Rookie of the Year award? Sal Stewart or J.J. Weatherholt? And right now, it is 50-50.
Yeah.
It is absolutely 50-50.
I think it's a good. It's legitimately a good debate when you just talk about it and like normal people.
Right.
I think when there's some people that performatively do this, not only being fans, but also this perfectly crosses over into the advanced metric WAR era,
right.
And a guy that's leading the national or leading the major leagues in RBI. You know what I mean? I mean, Sal Stewart's the major league RBI leader. With nearly 30 home runs as a rookie on a team that doesn't score any runs. J.J. Weatherholt is metrically the superior player because of his defensive play, and plus he's a good offensive player and everything
Okay,
as well.
and let me just bring this up to you. I have a lot of – I follow a lot of WVU sites. I follow a lot of Major League Baseball sites. When Weatherholt didn't cover first base on that that play in the ninth inning last night,
Big Raz.
Suddenly I had like a half a dozen – Reds fans.
There's your rookie of the year not covering first base.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Posting the videos of that.
Hey, I just call Sal the runner-up and hope he keeps hitting dingers and knocking in RBIs. That's the most important thing.
In Weatherholt's defense on that play, he was shaded towards the second base bag. He wasn't going to be able to get over there and cover the bag anyway. By the way, did you notice that he got hit by a pitch again today?
No, I didn't see that.
So he's now been hit by pitches 16 times this year. We haven't really talked about this since April. There was a time in April where he got hit in 5 consecutive games, which is really unique, and especially unique when it happens to a rookie.
Yeah,
6 games in a row is the major league record.
It's a great skill for a leadoff guy.
Yes,
it's a great skill for a leadoff guy, and it
is
a skill. It's not bad luck; it's a skill.
And there's something about the Cardinals too, because Herrera leads baseball in the number of times he's been hit by a pitch by a large margin. He's been hit by pitches nearly 30 times this year.
It's the Cardinal way, baby.
So
get him on base any way you can.
So that's what happened to Weatherholt in this game. But yeah, so there you go. If you follow me on X, here's the poll, and we'll update it as we move along today. In Southern West Virginia, there are some WVU fans who are also Reds fans. Who do you want to see win the National League Rookie of the Year, Stewart or Weatherholt? Get in there and vote. I'm interested in your take on that. Jeff Jenkins has joined us now.
That game, it was 2 outs. Top of the 9th inning, Dane Myers dropped a fly ball. That opened the floodgates.
Really opened the gates.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it was 2 outs. 2 guys were on. Weatherholt hit it. It was routine. Now, there's sun out there, of course, but, it's a pretty sunny day. But, he called the left fielder off, and he dropped it.
He might be their best overall defender, too. That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. And then so just, Cardinals needed this. I mean, they're fighting
for
their lives there. They would have dropped 3 of 5 to the Reds, but now they're going to win 3 of 5 from the Reds.
Yeah,
so.
The inning's finally over. It's 10-5 going to the 9th. What do you got in the news? What's going on?
Yeah, we got a couple flood story updates. So one, a rescue, pretty cool story. That's the lead story. Chris got an update from Mount Hope, which was flooded, but also key story here, Dave. The PSC staff, so the State Public Service Commission staff, they have come out expressing major concerns with the Morrow transmission lines after the public hearings were held about where the path would be for the Morrow transmission line. Now the developers have changed the route.
Really?
There are some proposed changes. So the PSC staff is expressing concern about this, and there is some thought that it could cost the application before the Public Service Commission. So Brad McElhaney writes about that at the website.
That's a good story. Good story. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with more in just a moment. Stay tuned.
The Library of Congress invites you to visit the revamped Veterans History Project website, where firsthand accounts.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season, the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart. Only on Metro News Television.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi, everyone. I'm Metro News TV meteorologist Susie Martin. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a series of fronts that will be impacting us, bringing in rounds of storms today, and yet another one arriving for the weekend. So planning on some more active weather. The big concern at this point is the flash flooding risk, because we do have a lot of moisture to work with. So we'll talk about that. But these fronts are also going to keep our warmth in check. So just as temperatures start to warm up, we get hit with a cold front, kind of evening everything out over the course of the coming days. But here's today's setup. We have this area of low pressure that will be tracking a cold front our way, hence generating rounds of thunderstorms. We also have this disturbance along the east coast, which is going to actually give some oomph to some of those storms. There is a more elevated risk for severe weather for our friends in DC, but some of the storms across eastern and southern West Virginia could be a bit on the strong side. However, the main concern is the flash flooding potential. It's marginal, so not everybody's going to get in on intense rain, but the downpours are very real. We've got a lot of moisture to deal with, so localized flooding cannot be ruled out. Please be mindful of that. We'll keep those thunderstorms in place through tonight, turning scattered in coverage, and then beginning to clear out tomorrow for a time before we gear up for the next disturbance, which arrives for our Friday evening. All right, it's time now for a CRW fly forecast connecting West Virginia to the world, looking at some of the destinations here. Florida in particular, I'm going to make note, it's been very hot and muggy there, along with pretty active weather, and that looks to be the case still as we go forward. Our temperatures mid to upper 70s across the region, with again thunderstorm threats for today. Some of our communities getting into the 80s, like Moorfield and Petersburg. How about Pineville at 82 degrees? Here's our extended forecast. We mentioned those cold fronts keeping the heat in check, mainly in the 80s and 70s.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah,
this
if you can handle Randolph County.
I mean, you're moving. This basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen, I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one. 304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, it's terrible. Read the guy's phone.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. 26 minutes till the hour. You know, we didn't even get a chance to set our question of the day. Let's go ahead and fix that now. Question of the day sponsored by Salango Law. You know, there's no getting around it. We continue to eat less breakfast cereal. And there's a variety of reasons for that. And we'll get into some of those reasons a little bit later on in the program. But here are some of the numbers. With the exception of the COVID era, cereal sales have been dropping constantly for the last quarter century, for the last 25 years. Americans bought 500 million fewer boxes of cereal last year than they did just 5 years ago. Only 12% of households in the United States have any cereal in the house at all. And milk consumption, it's dropping as well, and that's part of it. Milk consumption is down about 50% since 1975. So the question of the day is this, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. What cereal or cereals are in your house right now, and what was or what were your favorite cereals when you were a kid? All right? Just talking about breakfast cereal, and I think some people really are kind of shocked by those numbers, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit today. What cereals are in your house right now, and what were your favorite cereals when you were a kid? To respond, text those in 304-TALK 304, 304-8255 304. Tweet me. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY.
If I could just for a moment be a little bit, not personally offended, but like a personal soapbox of mine here. As far as cereals go, they have sugars in them and with the kids' cereals and stuff, and I understand that, not necessarily great. But you know what they also have? Tons of fortifications of vitamins and minerals and different things along those lines. For something that's quick to eat in the morning, these things being designed, fortified with the things that you need are not the worst thing in the world when you compare them to Pop-Tarts or something along those lines. I mean, cereal actually, yes, they're fortified. It's added in. It's not naturally derived, but it is, they have those things that are added into the foods. I don't think cereals are the worst things in the world, to be honest with you. And the label that we hang on these things is everything has sugar in it. Everything we're eating has sugar in it. The energy drinks have sugars in them. I just think it's a little unfair because it has a cartoon character on the front of it that we derive these things. But when you look at them, it has vitamins and minerals and things added to it, like white bread or something like that does. I just think that we need to take our foot off the gas a little bit when it comes to these things because it's relatively cheap food that actually has nutritious value to them, like a lot of things don't.
So when you go to the market and you see the numerous varieties of cereals, I was just stunned by that stat that about 1 in 10 households have any cereal in the house at all.
So is it like the one household that's buying all the cereal? I mean, I'll admit we have like 6 boxes at home right now. I mean, half adult, half kid. For the most part, and we drink and I eat it mostly dry anymore. But still, I'll have a bowl of cereal. I had a bowl of cereal the other night with my daughter, and it was one of her cereals. It was delicious, probably because I had it with her.
Nice. Oh, that's great. So there's the question: what cereals are in your house right now? What were your favorite cereals as a kid? Germain Lussier probably has an opinion about this. He joins us now from Gizmodo.com. Were you a big cereal eater, Germain?
Yeah, growing up, I definitely was. Honey Nut Cheerios, Frosted Flakes. But as you were saying this, it kind of all clicked. You're absolutely right. Like, I will, when we grocery shop, buy a box of cereal, and then it'll sit there for 6-8 months. I'll have 2 bowls, and then I'll dump it. And then, 6 months later, I'll buy another one. So, yeah, it's always something. It's never on my mind anymore. There's more options, and So yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Coop and I he mentioned it briefly in our crosstalk segment to begin the show about scalping movie tickets, and you wrote a piece about this at Gizmodo.com. Is this something to be concerned about, that people are scalping movie tickets?
No, not at all. I mean, it's absolutely annoying, but it's only happening in a few places for a few movies on a few days. So like I said, it's a pretty complicated little thing. But basically, it's only because movies like The Odyssey and Dune Part 3 were filmed to be in 70 millimeter IMAX. So that's the way you can see it, and it looks different than everywhere else. Any other place you see it, be that the Dolby, be that Barco, all these things, all those places are going to look and sound virtually similar. And so there's only like 30 places in the world where you can see a movie like that. So when tickets go on sale for these big movies, people kind of go for that opening weekend or whatever to try to make a little extra money. There's a lot of demand, there's not as much supply, So, but those movies don't come every Christopher Nolan's not going to make another movie for like 4 years, and Denis Villeneuve is going to make James Bond next. When is that going to happen? So, there are other filmmakers who'll do it, and more will continue to. But this is just something that gets a lot of news when it happens, but it's not something that's happening everywhere.
By the way, you also have an article that you've posted today about The Odyssey is now the highest-grossing R-rated film of all time. Let's see. I'm trying to find out. It beat out Deadpool and Wolverine. That was the previous high mark?
Yeah, that, and then before that, it was Joker. So 2 other comic book movies. Those are the only 3 R-rated movies ever to make $1 billion, which is kind of crazy.
Wow, that is pretty crazy. Al, I wanted to get your reaction also to a story I saw this week about Tom Holland in the new Spider-Man movie, which is making money hand over fist. They're estimating that he might make $100 million or more from this one particular film because he's got points on the film, but there's no cap. There's no cap. First of all, I didn't realize in some of these movie actor contracts that there were caps. I mean, do you have any idea? Did that surprise you when you saw that? More than potentially $100 million for one movie?
No, it didn't, because it happens, especially on these movies. I think Robert Downey Jr. made that for like Avengers Endgame because these guys don't love playing these characters, but they know they're very lucrative. And so they'll do it for the right price, and that right price is points. And yeah, I guess I didn't really think about the cap. I guess what's the difference, right? Because how is that movie going to make $2 billion? Oops, it did.
Yeah, right.
So I think if you're if you're the agent signing it, you're like, sure, no cap. But I think this is just the way it is now. Tom Holland as Spider-Man is the #1 box office draw of the last 5 to 10 years, and so I think he deserves whatever he got up front. He deserves this. People came to see the movie because of him, because of his relationship with Zendaya, and I think, it's crazy.
All right, starting to wind down with Germain Lussier from Gizmodo.com. I got to ask you wrote about Lanterns and the plan for Season 2 yesterday at Gizmodo.com. I got to tell you, man, I tried. I got about a half an hour into the first episode of Lanterns, and I just couldn't hang with it. Are you watching this? Did you like it? What are your thoughts on Lanterns?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
Okay.
I thought that first episode, that grabbed me right there before the title. When he's in the car, jumps out, you're like, what the heck is going on with this show? So yeah, if it didn't grab you, that's pretty much the show, is that first episode. I think the best scene of it is at the end.
Okay.
So maybe give it a whole look. But at the same time, yeah, I've seen 7 of the 8 episodes, actually. I wrote a review about it a couple weeks ago, a non-spoiler review. And I think the show is excellent for 5 episodes. And I think the last couple are not as good. I haven't seen the finale yet, which airs in about 7 weeks. But I think it's a really good mix of it's superhero, it's canon to DC, but it doesn't overwhelm you with that. It's only there when it is, and it really feels they keep using the thing like it's True Detective because it's 2 guys solving a murder case in rural in Nebraska. So it's kind of got that down home Taylor Sheridan feel, but then also they have green rings that can make anything. Right. I really liked it, but yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, I'll give it another shot. Germain, thanks for your time today. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you next week.
Have a good one.
All right. We've got Huntington Bank's advocacy in action that's coming next. By the way, Coop, are you keeping your eye on this Reds game? The Reds have come back. It's now 10-9 with 2 outs, and the bases are loaded. All right. We've got our eyes on that, but we need a break. We're coming back with more. Stay tuned.
I'm Shane Fisher. I'm a senior project manager at Civil and Environmental Consultants, where I'm able to lead projects that change communities and work alongside top-notch professionals. We are employee-owned, so accountability and pride fuel the work that we do. Our motto, clients first, those aren't just words, it's a promise. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon this Thursday and Friday, raising money to support the incredible care provided by WVU Medicine Golisano Children's. From life-saving treatments to the little comforts that help make a child's stay a little easier. Your donation helps keep those programs going. Now, you can text the word WVU Kids to 34984 for a link to donate via credit or debit, PayPal, Apple Pay, or Venmo. It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon supporting WVU Medicine Golisano Children's this Thursday and Friday.
Metro News Hotline, brought to you by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
The conversation starts long before the game.
You want heavy swag purchase?
Well, one of my things, I love gear from events.
Okay.
I just love. That's a thing. I gotta go get gear.
Well, you're not alone because there's a lot of people.
A lot of people. When my daughter was little and participating in karate, I mean, we'd go up to Weir and be at an event. I'm like, right, I'm a T-shirt we got. Let's get a T-shirt for Let's get a T-shirt.
3 guys before the game. Available on Metro News Television.
A lot of patients come here without much hope, and I think we can give them hope.
We offer a full spectrum of interventions suitable for every kind of person that walks through our door. We do absolutely everything we can to help you achieve your family building goals.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. Thank you for 23 years, Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
At Daniels Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniels is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniels.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Okay, so we're going to do public math. So he won 9 his second year at West Virginia, 5 his second year at Michigan, 8 his second year at Arizona, second year at Jack State, he won 9, so it's 31 divided by 4.
Yeah, just under 8 per win. Or per season.
So there you go, Hunter. You can just forget about everything else and just mark it down.
Put Tony and I down for 8, Coach Hunter. Put us on the prediction show for 8. We already got it.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
All right, welcome back to the show. I am really happy to continue our association with Huntington Bank. We're starting something new today that's called Advocacy in action, and Chad Prather, who's been here, I guess, multiple times, right, Chad?
Yeah, several times.
Several
yeah,
times.
Yeah,
So,
I appreciate you having me back.
Oh, happy to do it, and we've got some important stuff to talk about. But what is this series going to be all about? Let's start there.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having us. We're really excited to be here with Pastor Dan this afternoon. Every couple weeks, we're going to highlight, we're real active in the community, see a lot of things and a lot of wonderful things happening across the state of West Virginia. And we think that are worth sharing. So we want to get exposure to those organizations and just talk about some of those wonderful actions that are happening. Some of them, like what we're going to talk about today, because of something terrible that's happened, but a lot of wonderful that's come out of it. And just organizations, nonprofits across the state that are, have really big hearts and could use some support sometimes. And we want to, bring some awareness to those folks.
Let me bring Pastor Dan Vaughn from Hope Point Baptist Church in Weston into the conversation. So now we're moving from this has been an awful situation with the water, but now we're kind of moving into the rebuilding phase. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it has been quite a journey over the last several weeks, and our community was hit really hard. And then it was at first just we got to get these basements cleaned out. We got to get the initial cleanup. And for the most part, there's still some of that work going on. People seem to be in different phases of it. But by and large, it's shifting to that rebuilding stage, which is an exciting shift, but it also brings with it another set of challenges as well.
So you're kind of moving into the phase where you're restoring homes and you're giving support to families that have been displaced by the water that really need it.
Yeah, we still have right now about 24 families that are still in hotel rooms. And then that's not to mention the families that are staying with other family and other places. I think 47 or 48 homes just in Lewis County were completely destroyed by the flood, and so it's a huge task in front of us to rebuild. And then some people are living in homes. They're living on the second story. The first story has been gutted, and they're trying to rebuild while they're still living in the house.
Now, there was a shortage of available housing in Weston before the flood, correct?
Yeah, I would consider us being in a housing crisis before the flood, as far as just having good, affordable homes for the population. And so this just drove us kind of further in the hole on that note.
This is Huntington Bank's Advocacy in Action. Pastor Diane Vaughn of Hope Point Baptist Church in Weston is with us now. We're talking about the church's relief effort across the region and how the community can join in. So what are we talking about in terms of immediate needs, and how do people get involved?
Right. Well, when all of that first happened, people were coming in and they needed shovels and brooms and squeegees and cleaning supplies and all of those kind of things. And that really, as you alluded to, that has shifted into the rebuilding phase. And so what we're seeing now, we have a couple of our men in the church and folks in the church that are going out and kind of assessing situations. And it's obviously not just us. This is a community effort that's involved here. But when we hear of a need and are recommended someone, then we'll go out and we'll look at the situation. And then we've developed relationships with our local hardware store, with our local Lowe's stores, and we'll just go get the supplies that people need. When we're able to verify the need, and then right now we're still operating the distribution center, but that's kind of gone down a little bit in the people coming in needing those immediate things like that. They're looking for drywall, subflooring, things like that.
I'm seeing on this list dehumidifiers, contractor bags, hydrated lime, damp rid, those types of things.
Sure, and those are still needs, but those are shifting, and it's what we're seeing is a day-to-day and even a week-to-week change here in what people are needing. And so we're still providing meals. Our senior center was flooded. There's a local nonprofit there, Our Neighbor, that the people would normally go to with these things, that they're flooded out as well. So when they're coming to us, we still provide those things, and food as well, hot meals every day, 100 to 150 meals every day that we're feeding the community. But what we're seeing now is those construction type materials. And so what we've done is we've asked people even for like Lowe's gift cards or to partner with our local hardware store, P&G Hardware, though, there in Weston. And so we can verify the need, and then we can kind of just connect the resource to those in need there.
For people who want to get involved with this project, how do they get in touch with you? How do they do this?
Sure. Well, if you want to talk to one of us directly, I would encourage you to call us, 304-269-7305. Or if you would just like to give directly to that effort, you can get on our website at hopespoint.org, HOPESPOINT.org, and click the give, and then there's a fund there. It's flood relief, and you can give directly to that.
One of the other things about this situation, volunteers that were there immediately, a lot of these people who helped out when the event was taking place, they've gone back to work. That just happens.
It does.
So, but you're still needing volunteers, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And, as everyone knows, you can only give so much time. You need fresh legs. You need people. There's a fatigue aspect to this when it's long-term recovery. And so we need people who would be willing to come in. And if certainly not only at Hope's Point, but at other organizations are there, Samaritan's Purse and many other nonprofit organizations and faith-based organizations that are there helping people directly.
We've got less than a minute, but I did want to just ask you about your church.
Yeah.
Where you're located in Weston.
Yeah, it's at 322 Main Avenue. We have that building, and then we have the coffee house. That's where we've run the distribution center out of. And that's open to the public. Hopefully we'll get back open up here in the next week or two.
What about your hours?
Yes, it's 10 to 6, Monday through Saturday. And our church hours are every Sunday at 8:30 and 11 as well.
There you go. There you go. Hey, very nice to meet you, Pastor Dan. Pastor Dan Vaughn of Hope's Point Baptist Church in Wheeling. Chad Prather, always a pleasure to talk to you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us.
And we love this program. I really love being involved in this. This is Huntington Bank's Advocacy in Action. We're going to be doing this a couple of times a month. Guys, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, Dave.
All right, we'll take a break, and we'll wrap the hour in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
All right, that's going to do it for the first hour of the show. We'll take a break for news here at the top. Come back, take a look at what's going on in the financial markets. It looks like we're in the red today. We'll detail that. Also, reset our question of the day about the decline of breakfast cereal. Oh, and Kathy Mattea for Mountain Stage will be here to talk about the next big show in Charleston. And we got a pick one coming at 4:33 today, so stay tuned. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi, everyone. I'm Metro News TV meteorologist Susie Martin. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a series of fronts that will be impacting us, bringing in rounds of storms today, and yet another one arriving for the weekend. So planning on some more active weather. The big concern at this point is the flash flooding risk, because we do have a lot of moisture to work with. So we'll talk about that. But these fronts are also going to keep our warmth in check. So just as temperatures start to warm up, we get hit with a cold front, kind of evening everything out over the course of the coming days. But here's today's setup. We have this area of low pressure that will be tracking a cold front our way, hence generating rounds of thunderstorms. We also have this disturbance along the East Coast, which is going to actually give some oomph to some of those storms. There is a more elevated risk for severe weather for our friends in DC, but some of the storms across eastern and southern West Virginia could be a bit on the strong side. However, the main concern is the flash flooding potential. It's marginal, so not everybody's going to get in on intense rain, but the downpours are very real. We've got a lot of moisture to deal with, so localized flooding cannot be ruled out. Please be mindful of that. We'll keep those thunderstorms in place through tonight, turning scattered in coverage and then beginning to clear out tomorrow for a time before we gear up for the next disturbance, which arrives for our Friday evening. All right, it's time now for a CRW Fly Forecast connecting West Virginia to the world, looking at some of the destinations here. Florida in particular, I'm going to make note, it's been very hot and muggy there, along with pretty active weather, and that looks to be the case still as we go forward. Our temperatures mid to upper 70s across the region with, again, thunderstorm threats for today. Some of our communities getting into the 80s like Moorfield and Petersburg. How about Pineville at 82 degrees? Here's our extended forecast. We mentioned those cold fronts keeping the heat in check, mainly in the 80s and 70s.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour, navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2, How Do You Do? Metro News Hotline. Keeping you company here in West Virginia every weekday afternoon beginning at 3:06 and taking you right through to 6 o'clock. Hey, wherever you're listening to the show today, inside the state of West Virginia or beyond the borders, just trying to get a read on what's going on back home, we hope you're having a good day. We hope you're having a good day out there, and we're doing pretty good here in Charleston. Doing just fine, and thanks for asking, by the way. Got a lot of stuff to get into in this particular hour. We'll take a look at what happened in the markets today. Markets taking a little bit of a dip. We'll be all right, but we'll give you the numbers on that. Some individual stocks, energy prices, crypto, and commodities. We've added that as well to our financial report at the top of the hour every day at 4 o'clock. We will also reset our question of the day about the decline of breakfast cereal, believe it or not. We'll get into that. Oh, and Kathy Mattea is back on the show. We love having Kathy on. Another great show coming up on Mountain Stage here in Charleston. She'll detail that. Also, 4:25 this afternoon, we've got the Entertainment Report. Coop and I will play another edition of Pick One at 4:33. If you've never experienced that, I think you're going to like it. A little bit later on in the hour, we'll open up the On the State file. 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports coming up in about 52 minutes. The Reds game is now over. What a wild game. Cardinals beat the Reds this afternoon. Final score 10-9. The Cardinals put 6 runs on the board in the top of the ninth. The Reds came battling back, scored 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth, had the bases loaded, and Matt McLain at the plate. McLain had hit a grand slam earlier in this game. He lined out sharply to right to Jordan Walker, who had – how many RBIs did Walker have today? I know he had at least 3. He had 4. He had 4 RBIs today for the Cardinals, 3 of them coming on a 3-run homer. So the Cardinals win a wild one over the Reds this afternoon, final 10-9. In the 5 o'clock hour, speaking of the financial markets, Amy Smith will be here, so we'll talk about your individual stocks or any thoughts you may have on the general overall direction of the financial markets. We do that once a week. That's coming up at 5 o'clock this afternoon. We'll play in or out at 5:25. Kevin Kinder, Coop, he's out of the box today. It's his wife's birthday. So she's having a birthday. Where's that?
I'll allow it.
But where does that leave me? What about moi? What about me?
Well, maybe you'll get something, a dinner or a card next week.
maybe
you'll get that next
But
Thursday.
you know what? Our bench is deep. Our bench is deep. So we'll catch up with Kev next week. But Couz Walker is coming by for a little visit. And we'll be talking about Mountaineer sports. That'll be coming up with Couz. That'll be at 5:33 today. We enjoy having him on the show. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing cranked here for the hour number 2. We'll start with what happened in the financial markets today. Dow Jones Industrials down 1.3%. Lost a little more than 700 points today, ending the day at 52,759. S&P 500 down 0.9%, dropping almost 67 points today, 76.41 at the close. NASDAQ was down 1%, lost 263 points, closing at 26,067. Among stocks of local interest to West Virginia, there were big percentage gainers or losers today. And we had some red on this board, no doubt about it. Home Depot was down 2.7%, lost $9.28, $335.02 at the close. Also, Northrop Grumman down 3.1%, losing a little more than $18 a share, ending the day at $564.51. In the energy space this afternoon, oil up 2.3%. Gained $2 even. WTI and the NYMEX closing up close to $90 again at $87.83. And at the moment, natural gas down a nickel, down 5 cents, going at $2.76 per unit, and it is obviously still trading. In the crypto space, man, Bitcoin's been on a roll now. It's north of 72,000, up 5.5% today, gaining a little more than $3,700. A coin going for almost $73,000 today. So, Coop, I know a little bit about this stuff. We based on the Bitcoin at around 60,000, and ever since, it has been on the move. So we're keeping our eyes on that. And in the commodity space, gold today, gold yesterday had its best day in 6 months, got back to its 200-day moving average, up over 4%. Today it held those gains, up slightly, just up $5.60, an ounce closing at $4,548, and silver following suit, up 1.8%, gaining $1.27 an ounce today, closing at $69.05. All right, here's our question of the day. Question of the day, we're talking about breakfast cereal. Breakfast cereal continues to be on the decline. In the United States, only 12%, like 1 in 10 people, have any boxes of cereal in the kitchen at all. So here's the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. What cereals are in your house right now? What cereals are in your house right now, and what were your favorite cereals as a kid? What cereals are in your house right now, and what were your favorite cereals as a kid? And yeah, as you might imagine, we have a lot of response to this, and we're going to get into that in a bit. You can jump in there. The text line here is 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on X for now at Weekly WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. Now let's get to the good stuff. Kathy Mattea joins me to talk about the next episode of Mountain Stage here in Charleston at the Culture Center Theater. I got to ask you, though, Kathy, did you eat a lot of cereal as a kid, and are you eating cereal now?
We had a lot of eggs, but we also had cereal, and I was a Frosted Flakes kid.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the sugar. But now I was listening, and I will report in that I have a box of Raisin Bran and a box of Grape Nuts in my pantry right now.
I've never understood grape nuts. It's like eating little rocks.
Yes, I'm here to tell you I don't eat the Grape Nuts, but I supply them because my life is easier when my husband has the things he enjoys.
Fair enough. All right. Well, let's get into the music stuff because that's why we're here. What's coming up on the next episode of Mountain Stage here in Charleston? Tell me about it.
Well, as usual, it's going to be wide-ranging, but everybody fits together in kind of an interesting way. We have Buffalo Wobbs and the Price Hill Hustle. They've been on before. They're out of Cincinnati, been playing for a long time together. They're sort of like old-time influenced but modern, and basically the best thing I can tell you is they'll make you stomp your feet, for sure. A woman named Sarah Borges, who I haven't met before. She's a rock and roller and a singer-songwriter. She's out of Boston. She's been making records for 20 years. Really, really good. A young guy, well, young, 30s, getting younger all the time. A young guy out of Texas named Jack Barksdale, and he does folk and blues and writes these songs that are sort of wise beyond his years. And then our headliner this weekend is Tony Trischka with his Earl Jam project.
Nice.
And that Tony's like a legendary, very well accomplished banjo player himself, sort of known as the father of modern bluegrass. One of the guys with one foot in the old time and one foot in the progression into more modern stuff. And they found a bunch of recordings that they were just bootleg tapes of jam sessions between John Hartford and Earl Scruggs. And somebody gave them to Tony, and he just poured through them and has now made his second record that came from those bootleg recordings, which is so cool.
We have him scheduled. Coop, he's coming on the show tomorrow. So he's going to be on the show tomorrow to talk about this. Kathy, did you ever cross paths with Earl Scruggs?
I crossed paths with Earl Scruggs and John Hartford.
Really?
Yeah, I got to sing on a John Hartford record one time. And on Mountain Stage, when they came to Nashville to do a tribute show to John Hartford, Tim O'Brien and I sang Gentle on My Mind together. Wow. And John was there. And we were sound checking in the afternoon running the song. And the place was empty, and John was sitting in the back of the room. And Tim, it's got a million verses, and Tim looks up and says, "What is that next verse, John? What is it?" And he gets up and slowly walks up to the stage and starts reciting to us the dirty version of Gentle on My Mind.
Wow. Nice.
And I almost dropped all my teeth on the stage, but it was just one of those days you'll never, ever forget for the rest of your life.
You know what? I'm old enough to remember when John Hartford was on the Glenn Campbell show, and I was just mesmerized by his incredible talent, and he just seemed like such a natural television character as well. You know what they say about meeting your heroes. I really want to know he was a really nice guy in person.
He was amazing. He was just... like there was no pretense to him at all. He wasn't like overly nice or overly cold. He was just the same to everybody from what I could tell. Very kind to me, but very matter of fact, just like everybody was the same to him. And, I didn't know him well, but he was part of how I got to Nashville. Big, big, big influence on me in college. And I went to see him when I was in college. And so this is a really sweet kind of things to have Tony on the show this week.
Well, this Tony Trischka and the Earl Jam thing, this sounds like my lane. It's going to be really, really interesting. We have a little bit of music here. Here is one of John Hartford's most famous tunes, Gentle on My Mind, and Tony's version from Earl Jam 2 with your BFF, Billy Strings. So here,
my new musical crush.
So here we go.
And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds in the ink stains that are dried upon some line that keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory, keeps you ever gentle on my mind.
Coop, reach out to Tony's people and just let them know tomorrow we're not going to do this unless he performs something into the phone.
Yeah, into the phone. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. He probably can. So he probably has a way to do that. We'll see.
He probably
does.
He probably does. That sounds like it's going to be a really good show. Oh, Kathy, I know what I want to ask you. A little bit later on in this hour, Coop and I are going to be talking about a topic where we have a rock musician who is putting some of their used gear and some of their used on-stage clothing up for auction. And I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, you've been performing for decades. Sometimes when you see a picture of yourself from back in the 80s or you think about a performance from back in the 80s, whatever happens to those clothes? I mean, do you still have them, or do you have favorite outfits that you like to perform in? Or, I mean, does Kathy Mattea have like a lucky shirt? You know, that kind of thing.
Well, no, I don't have one lucky shirt, but I think that's a great question. I mean, I find myself being curious about it. Every once in a while, you'll hear about a yard sale in Nashville somewhere where somebody's stage clothes were on the rack, and some friend of yours went and bought like sparkly jackets, like randomly on the side of the road. I gave I had a couple pieces that were handmade for me, and a lot of pieces actually, and I gave some of them to the Hall of Fame. And then some of them you give for auctions. You know, people need, like, the various charities will have pieces that they'll auction. So I did that for a long time. And now I tell you what I do a lot of the time. I kept my faves. I have my faves in a little closet. But of the stuff I wear now, I just rotate it to the back of my closet. And in a few years, it's like you forgot that you wore that, and it's like something brand new, and it's like thrifting in your own house.
Well, will you wear a certain thing because you know you'll be playing a guitar or not playing your guitar? You know, that kind of thing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are things with rhinestones all over them that make noise on the guitar when you play.
Right.
And sometimes you're in a situation where you just don't care. You want to wear that jacket. And sometimes it's like you don't want to get the dirty look from the other band members because they can't figure out what the noise is.
Well, this is going to be a good show this weekend on Sunday, Mountain Stage at the Culture Center Theater here in the capital city. Kathy Mattea, we're winding down with her. She's the host of it. Should be a great show. Tony Triska is going to be on with us tomorrow. I think he's scheduled for 3:30, so we'll talk a little bit with him. One of the other things that's happening with Mountain Stage, earlier this week, the 43rd anniversary show was announced. That's going to be coming up on December the 6th, and that looks like it's going to be a really good show. Really good show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Fred Tackett and Scott Sherrard from Little Feat, who are sort of them with Billy Payne, have been the anchors of Little Feat for many years now. And they're really wonderfully accomplished musicians. And Little Feat finished their final tour. I got to see that tour. And then the two of them decided they wanted to keep going, so they're doing a duo acoustic version with Little Feat songs and Lowell George songs, and then songs that they've each done in their storied careers over years. So we're very excited to have them, and tickets go on sale at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
You know, and the other thing about this, didn't Lowell George, his daughter, didn't she just appear on Mountain Stage within the last couple of weeks?
Last week's show featured her as one of the artists, and she has this crazy, beautiful, folky and jazzy voice, and she blew everybody away. And our George, she was just a delightful human being.
I got to get this in. Fred Tackett, he's an absolute legend, and Adam Harris sent me this clip. He knows anything Bob Dylan related is catnip for me. So he sent along this clip of Fred soloing alongside Dylan and his band from 1980. Let's hear some of that, Coop.
On the Grammys in 1980.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
This is Serve Somebody from 1980. All right, Fred Tackett and Scott Sherrard from Little Feat will be headlining the 43rd anniversary show of Mountain Stage. That's coming up on Sunday, December the 6th. But you don't have to wait until then. There's another great show coming this weekend. Kathy, thanks for joining us today. I do appreciate it.
Thanks very much. Don't forget Thirsty Thursday today at 5 Street Brewing. The Mountain Stage guys will be out there today.
Yeah, they're with the guys at 98.7 The Mountain. Thirsty Thursday. It starts at 6 o'clock, runs for a couple hours at 5 Street. Thanks, Kathy.
Thanks so much, Dave.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you later. We'll take a quick break. The entertainment report is coming up next.
Hi, I'm Donna Spencer, a highway engineering technician at Civil and Environmental Consultants in Bridgeport, West Virginia. At CEC, we are employee-owned, and I truly own my role. I am close to home, working on local projects that matter, and it feels good knowing my hard work directly benefits my community. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon this Thursday and Friday, raising money to support the incredible care provided by WVU Medicine Golisano Children's. From life-saving treatments to the little comforts that help make a child's stay a little easier. Your donation helps keep those programs going. Now, you can text the word WVU Kids to 34984 for a link to donate via credit or debit, PayPal, Apple Pay, or Venmo. It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon supporting WVU Medicine Golisano Children's this Thursday and Friday.
Don't forget about our podcast. Check out your favorite podcast provider or simply go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the podcast link. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season. The 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart. Only on Metro News Television.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. Thank you for 23 years, Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
A lot of patients come here without much hope, and I think we can give them hope.
We offer a full spectrum of interventions suitable for every kind of person that walks through our door. We do absolutely everything we can to help you achieve your family building goals.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
I kid my friend who just texted me, by the way, and said, no blanking cheese. Got away with
well, he
words.
should come out. Make sure he comes to the game.
No, you don't want him there because
because not everyone's going to have cheese. I mean, there might be a couple.
No, what he's going to do? He's going to go up to everybody there and start turning over their carts and saying, "This you are illegitimate. This is not accurate."
Midday on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Matters.
ABC Entertainment News.
I've always considered myself blessed.
Good American Family is coming back to Hulu for a second season. The new season of the anthology will focus on the jaw-dropping case of Lorena and John Bobbitt. Disney is the parent company of Hulu and ABC News.
Sink into the chair.
Scary Movie will soon be available to stream. The sixth movie in the Scary Movie franchise reunites original stars Marlon and Sean Wayans and Anna Faris with new cast members including Regina Hall and Kenan Thompson. It will premiere on Paramount Plus on September 3rd.
I am a security unit.
Murderbot has announced additional cast for the second season of the Alexander Skarsgård-led series. New cast members include Steve Buscemi, Severance star Tramell Tillman, Nicholas Braun, and Wanda Sykes. And happy birthday to Demi Lovato, who is 34 today. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
All right, we'll take a break here for local news at the bottom of the hour and play Pick One when we come back. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi, everyone. I'm Metro News TV meteorologist Susie Martin. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a series of fronts that will be impacting us, bringing in rounds of storms today, and yet another one arriving for the weekend. So planning on some more active weather. The big concern at this point is the flash flooding risk, because we do have a lot of moisture to work with. So we'll talk about that. But these fronts are also going to keep our warmth in check. So just as temperatures start to warm up, we get hit with a cold front, kind of evening everything out over the course of the coming days. But here's today's setup. We have this area of low pressure that will be tracking a cold front our way, hence generating rounds of thunderstorms. We also have this disturbance along the east coast, which is going to actually give some oomph to some of those storms. There is a more elevated risk for severe weather for our friends in DC, but some of the storms across eastern and southern West Virginia could be a bit on the strong side. However, the main concern is the flash flooding potential. It's marginal, so not everybody's going to get in on intense rain, but the downpours are very real. We've got a lot of moisture to deal with, so localized flooding cannot be ruled out. Please be mindful of that. We'll keep those thunderstorms in place through tonight, turning scattered in coverage and then beginning to clear out tomorrow for a time before we gear up for the next disturbance, which arrives for our Friday evening. All right, it's time now for a CRW Fly Forecast connecting West Virginia to the world, looking at some of the destinations here. Florida in particular, I'm going to make note, it's been very hot and muggy there, along with pretty active weather, and that looks to be the case still as we go forward. Our temperatures mid to upper 70s across the region with, again, thunderstorm threats for today. Some of our communities getting into the 80s like Moorfield and Petersburg. How about Pineville at 82 degrees? Here's our extended forecast. We mentioned those cold fronts keeping the heat in check, mainly in the 80s and 70s.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh, yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah, if you can handle Randolph County.
I mean, you're moving. This basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen, I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one. 304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, that's terrible. Read the guy's phone.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
.org.
All right, welcome back to the show. 26 minutes to the hour. We're going to play Pick One here in just a moment. Let me just take a couple of seconds to talk about a couple of things sports-wise that are going on this afternoon. Cavaliers. Cavaliers made a trade last night after we left the air, a multiple-player trade, and they are making some news this afternoon. James Harden has just agreed to a 3-year, $97 million deal to remain with the Cavaliers. So James Harden, Coop, his career earnings are now $511 million. $500 million.
Wow, man, that's pretty good.
So he's the fourth player in NBA history to make in salary over $500 million after LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry. So James Harden, 3 years, $97 million contract to stay with the Cavs. And this comes after the Cavs made a deal last night where they picked up Peyton Watson from the Clippers and Max Strus going back with picks in that deal. Strus going to the Clippers. A couple of other local things that are happening today. The WVU baseball team went to the College World Series last year. The Mountaineers got their baseball schedule conference-wise from the Big 12 earlier today. West Virginia is going to open Big 12 baseball play on the road at Houston. That will be the weekend of March 19th through the 21st. And West Virginia's Big 12 baseball opening weekend of conference play will be Easter weekend against the conference champs, the reigning conference champs from Kansas. That'll be March 25th through the 27th. Also, there's a lot of soccer stuff happening today. Well, actually, the English Premier League begins tomorrow. But college soccer-wise, Marshall's men will be hosting Fairfield tonight in Huntington. Marshall's women are playing right now at High Point in North Carolina, and they trail 2-0. It's getting late in the first half. WVU's men will be at Charlotte tonight. WVU's women will be hosting Penn State tonight in Morgantown in a battle of two top 25 teams in the preseason. So there's a lot of stuff going on. You know what, though? I want to play some Pick One. So why don't we do that? Let's play a little Pick One. The rules are kind of explained in the title for Pick One. In Pick One, for each topic, 2 choices are given, and you must select one of them. Hence, you must pick one. Coop and I have 5 sets of Pick One topics. We have not seen each other's Pick One selections. There are no correct answers. There are simply opinions. Honest responses likely to result in hurt feelings that could jeopardize our friendship and working relationship, but we're willing to risk that for the sake of higher ratings. Let's get started. Coop, are you ready for Pick One topic number 1?
Sure, man. Hit me with it.
All right. I alluded to this just briefly when we had Kathy Mattea on the show about 10 minutes ago.
I knew that this was a tease. I knew it.
Green Day bassist Mike Dirntz is selling a collection of his personally used gear and stage-worn clothing through an online store, Reverb, beginning September the 9th. Highlights include bass guitars burned on stage during the Nimrod and Warning tours when the drummer set his kit ablaze. The collection also has some basses and some stage-worn clothing. So I just wanted to ask you, you're a Beatles fan, right? You're a Beatles fan. Would you rather have Ringo's drumsticks or an old shirt that he wore on stage? Would you rather have Ringo's drumsticks or an old Ringo shirt that he wore on stage?
It'd have to be the drumsticks. They would still have some function. I can't see myself like having a shirt on my wall. I'm just not that kind of collector. I'm fine with people that are. It's not a judgmental thing. Just me personally, it would seem silly to have some dude's shirt hanging on my wall.
What about if you had like a photo of him wearing the shirt?
Like beside the actual shirt?
Yeah.
It just doesn't do it for me, man. I mean, at least the drumsticks, I could be like, hey, there's a drummer's drumsticks. And that seems relevant. Hey, there's a drummer's shirt. Just seems weird.
Not as cool, right?
Yeah, it just seems weird. Cool. To me, that's not my thing.
All right, pick one topic number 2. Did you see the story about Jason Statham?
Yes.
His upcoming action
thriller. I sent it to you.
Yeah, oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, so Statham's upcoming action movie, Mutiny, briefly appeared on Amazon Prime in full. So days before its scheduled August 21st theatrical release, one person saw it all the way through.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, one person
good for
saw
them.
it all the way through. Now, Amazon has taken it down, and the film does not appear to have spread any further. That's amazing, right? I mean, looking at the number of millions of people who have Amazon Prime. But I want to talk about Jason Statham. Better Jason Statham movie, The Bank Job or Spy? Better Jason Statham movie, The Bank Job or Spy? Or you can go off the board, I guess, if you want to pick another movie.
Honestly, I don't know what I can really ever since, Transporter, I guess, every single Jason Statham movie has been exactly the same.
That's so true.
It is the exact same plot of every single movie he's in. I like Jason Statham.
Me too.
He even had one where he was like the beekeeper. It wasn't.
Yeah.
That was just what they called, it was like basically a John Wick ripoff where the beekeepers were assassins or whatever.
That's actually a pretty good movie.
It wasn't bad, but it was like every other Jason Statham movie. It was fine, I would, if I'm going to pull one just like a Jason Statham movie, I'm going to have to go to the original Transporter. I actually thought that was really good.
Oh, that's fair.
I really like that movie.
In every Jason Statham movie, he says the same thing. He always says, "What's that mean?"
Yeah, I know.
What
I
do you
like
mean by
him
that?
fine, but it's
You know?
seriously the same movie every time.
I bet you never saw this one coming. Pick one topic, number 3. Man, I saw a great article today, one of my favorite sites, thetakeout.com,
Okay.
about a ranking of Marie Callender frozen pies.
Oh, man.
Marie Callender frozen pies. So somebody ranked 11 of them.
Okay.
And the worst one is pumpkin. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
The worst one is pumpkin.
Fits. Uh-huh.
But I want to ask you, better Marie Callender frozen pie, the chocolate satin pie, or the peanut butter cream pie? Better Marie Callender frozen pie. By the way, do you eat that stuff? You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah. The only one that I get regularly is the razzleberry, which I absolutely love. I love the razzleberry, but I do. Yeah, I'm very familiar with what you're talking about.
All right, so better Marie Callender frozen pie, the satin pie or the peanut butter cream pie? Please pick one.
As much as I love chocolate, I don't like the double, triple chocolate type desserts where it's like chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. Here's this special chocolate with more chocolate on top and this really sweet chocolate. It gets a little bit too rich for me. Usually chocolate things with peanut butter in it, although they're very rich, they don't taste like that sweet on top of sweet on top of. So usually the peanut butter mellows that out just a little bit. So by default here, I'll go with the chocolate and peanut butter. I love chocolate and peanut butter stuff.
Okay. And by the way, that's ranked number 1.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's number 1.
Might have to try one.
FX has just announced they've ordered Legends, a limited series reuniting many of the characters from Sons of Anarchy. So Sons of Anarchy is coming back. Charlie Hunnam, Ron Perlman, Katie Seagal, they're all committed to this project. So it's going to be a limited series continuing with the characters from Sons of Anarchy. So the question is, pick one topic, number 4, better FX series. Better FX series. Atlanta or The Americans? Better FX series. Atlanta or The Americans?
That's an interesting
Please pick one.
Contrast. By the way, I just read a thing on Sons of Anarchy last night that called its last 3 seasons something like a delusional parody of the show that it used to be, or something like that.
Fair.
It was pretty rough.
Yeah.
These are 2 series that I absolutely adored, and I didn't finish either one. So I haven't completed The Americans, and I haven't finished Atlanta. Atlanta is really sort of revolutionary in a lot of ways in its subject matter, what it approaches, Donald Glover's fingerprint all over that thing, and I truly enjoyed it. But if you like espionage kind of shows and things along those lines, you can't. The Americans might be one of the best ever when it comes to those types of shows. I'm 2 seasons away from finishing it, so I might finish it one of these days. But up until the point that I watched it too, seriously, it's not necessarily my favorite show, but of that genre, it's one of the best I've ever seen. So I got to go with The Americans.
I think that's the answer for me. And The Americans has probably one of the best last episodes I've ever seen.
Is it really? That's
it's really
awesome.
awesome.
That's
it's really
cool.
great. All right, we were talking about pick one topic, number 5. We were talking about this in the 3 o'clock hour about the weird Reds versus WVU situation with the National League Rookie of the Year battle between Sal Stewart and J.J. Weatherholt, the former Mountaineer player, and they met today in a wild game that the Cardinals won in Cincinnati 10-9. 2-hour car ride, Coop. 2-hour car ride. Weatherholt or Stewart? Please pick one. 2-hour car ride.
Man, I'm a Reds fan, so I wish Weather all the individual success that he can possibly muster anywhere else except for against the Reds. Couldn't care less about the Cardinals, but I'm talking to Sal Stewart and asking him what it was like to be interviewed by Hall of Famer Jeff Jenkins twice.
There you go. There you go.
Jeff interviewed him twice, and they came through town on the Caravan. Went back and listened to those interviews not that long ago. Very nice young man, very passionate. I think that he could be the future face of Cincinnati baseball if they don't ruin him like they have every other up-and-coming prospect they've done in the few.
By the way,
so Sal's my answer.
By the way, I have a Twitter poll up right now. You can follow me at Weekly, WEEKLEY. The question is, who would you rather see win the National League Rookie of the Year, Weatherholt or Sal Stewart? All right, what do you got for me?
All right, which tell-at-sea movie conditions would you least prefer to be in real life? The Century Storm that was featured in A Perfect Storm, the movie, or the shark-infested waters of Jaws?
Oh, man. Wow. Well,
one's a real story, you know.
Yeah, I know. No, I can't go for the Jaws thing. So I guess I got to drown.
These are like two of my biggest fears. I hate the swelling seas. I hate that. Man. I hate swelling seas.
I don't like that. So I think which one would I prefer?
Well, yeah, which one would you least prefer? Least prefer. Yes.
The Jaws.
Jaws. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Okay. If you were to find yourself instantly zipped 1,000 years into the future or 1,000 years into the past with only your phone and what you're wearing, in which direction would you find it easier?
1,000 years into the future or 1,000 years into the past?
Correct. With nothing but your phone and your clothes.
That's really interesting. That's a really good question. Well, who knows what the future holds, right?
That's right. That phone may not connect to anything at all.
It's not going to.
It may be just as useful as it is. As a matter of fact, well, go ahead. Yeah, what do you think?
I think I'm going to go to the past.
I think it's the right answer.
I think I'm going to go to the past.
I think that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Just using the God voice on the phone, look at this voice.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I mean, you might be able to get something
thing?
out of that. In the future, they wouldn't be impressed.
Who knows?
All right, let's see. Number three. Number three already. Pick which, and I love that I did this question after you did the one that you did with Jason Stratham, because he was considered for this question. Pick which modernish action star you would most want to be on the trail to save you. Would it be Keanu Reeves, who we know as John Wick, Ted Logan from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Klaatu from The Day the Earth Stood Still, John Constantine and Neo from The Matrix, or Liam Neeson with Brian Mills from Taken, Zeus, Aslan from the C.S. Lewis books, Ra's al Ghul from Batman, and Qui-Gon Jinn from Star Wars, The Jedi? Which of the actors' characters would you prefer to be on the trail to save you?
I trust Neo more.
Neo more?
I think I trust Neo more.
Whoa.
So I think whoa, what do you mean, dude?
Nice.
People
like
died,
that.
you know. Neo.
But what if it was Ted?
What if it was Ted? What if it was Ted?
Well, for Liam Neeson, it could have been Frank Drebin.
By the way, I think Keanu Reeves could probably take Liam Neeson. Don't you in a fight?
I mean, he's probably 20 years young. Well, maybe not 20. He's maybe 10 years younger. But yeah, I think probably so. He's taking
probably closer to 20.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that might be true. Okay. Pick the better innovative instrument use in a song. A better innovative instrument use in the song. First, we're going to talk about Van Halen, Jump in 1984. Eddie Van Halen, one of the most famous guitarists alive at the time, but he built the biggest hit that the band ever had around a synthesizer riff, not a lead guitar riff. Or The Who, if you go approximately 15 years earlier with Baba O'Reilly, the song is built around a looping synthesizer sequence, an ARP synthesizer sequence, rather than a guitar riff. So which song used odd instruments better, Van Halen's Jump or The Who's Baba O'Reilly?
I think I got to go with The Who, because it was really more of it was, wow, this is the first time we've heard something like this. You know, we'd heard synthesizers. It was kind of a one-off thing for Van Halen, but it was real. I think The Who's the answer.
Very good, very good. All right, final question then, number 5. Would you rather, and this is deep into the archives of just this week where I came up with this question. Okay, so would you rather have a collector's McDonald's Happy Meal dedicated to you, only reserved for huge phenoms, you know, the Dave Weekly Adult Happy Meal, or would you rather have the show's vertical banner along the edge of the net in Big 12 volleyball?
Well, I think having your own meal at McDonald's is about 1,000 times better. 1,000 times better.
Right.
But yeah, we were talking about that. Some branding opportunities.
Yeah, some branding opportunities, but you're going to go with a Happy Meal.
I'm going for the Happy Meal.
Okay, the last bonus question very quickly. Generally, these adult Happy Meals come with either like 10 chicken nuggets or 10 or 20 chicken nuggets, a Big Mac, or like a double cheeseburger. What would be your entree in the Dave Weekly Happy Meal?
Double cheeseburger.
Double cheeseburger.
I'm throwing a big net out there.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
And that's pick one. Let's take a break, and we'll come back and open up the On This Date file.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Hey, Max.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
All right, welcome back to the show. Time to open up the On This Date file. We'll start with the birthdays, the sports birthdays. Don King, the boxing promoter, is 95. Rich Brooks, coach of the St. Louis Rams, and at Kentucky, 85 years old today. Former Yankee third baseman Craig Nettles is 82 years old today. Todd Helton, Baseball Hall of Famer, played at Tennessee, 53 years old today. From entertainment, Amy Adams is 52. Connie Chung is 80. Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin is 78 years old today. On this date, 1964, the Yankees' Phil Linz plays a harmonica on the team bus. Yogi Berra, the manager at the time, didn't like it. It was great fodder for Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show.
Linz was playing. Yogi wanted him to stop. And so Yogi made a rather novel suggestion as to the disposal of Linz's harmonica. Mr. Linz, not being an acrobat, declined. So he tossed it up in the air. Linz tossed the harmonica in the air. Yogi swatted it, and it hit Joe Pepitone on the knee, and Pepitone is charged with the error. That is the way it's all peaceful, I understand. It's all peaceful over there again. And they were very busy today, the Yankees, studying the Mets training films.
There you go. Also on this date, in 2012, after 80 years, Augusta National announced it would finally accept women as members.
For decades, the club refused to budge. Former club chairman Hootie Johnson once told reporters he wouldn't be forced to admit a female member at the point of a bayonet.
If I drop dead this second, our position will not change.
Today, Hootie Johnson is still very much alive, but what may have changed minds was IBM CEO Virginia Rometty. She's the first IBM CEO who wasn't let in, even though her company sponsors the Masters tournament. And the story blew up in April.
Because IBM had a female CEO, all the dominoes started to fall. That is how this happened.
A sudden change that came slowly. Steve Osunsami, ABC News, Atlanta.
And our musical birthday to the break, Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit is 56 today. The 5 Things to Know at 5 o'clock in sports is coming next.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Morning, TJ Meadows.
Good morning, sir. It's yet another beautiful day to be in pursuit of happiness, is it not?
I like the optimism. Let's see if we can take care of that by the end of the show today, shall we? Any thoughts, Mr. Meadows?
Talkline, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. Thank you for 23 years, Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
A lot of patients come here without much hope, and I think we can give them hope.
We offer a full spectrum of interventions suitable for every kind of person that walks through our door. We do absolutely everything we can to help you achieve your family building goals.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
At Daniels Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniels is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniels.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season, the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game, Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart, only on Metro News Television.
By the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Sports headlines at 5 o'clock. The Cardinals rallied to beat the Reds today in Cincinnati. Final 10-9. Dirty Birds are at Gastonia after losing 2 in a row. And women's soccer, Marshall losing at High Point 3-0 still in the first half. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News Television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi, everyone. I'm Metro News TV meteorologist Susie Martin. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a series of fronts that will be impacting us, bringing in rounds of storms today, and yet another one arriving for the weekend. So planning on some more active weather. The big concern at this point is the flash flooding risk, because we do have a lot of moisture to work with. So we'll talk about that. But these fronts are also going to keep our warmth in check. So just as temperatures start to warm up, we get hit with a cold front, kind of evening everything out over the course of the coming days. But here's today's setup. We have this area of low pressure that will be tracking a cold front our way, hence generating rounds of thunderstorms. We also have this disturbance along the East Coast, which is going to actually give some oomph to some of those storms. There is a more elevated risk for severe weather for our friends in DC, but some of the storms across eastern and southern West Virginia could be a bit on the strong side. However, the main concern is the flash flooding potential. It's marginal, so not everybody's going to get in on intense rain, but the downpours are very real. We've got a lot of moisture to deal with, so localized flooding cannot be ruled out. Please be mindful of that. We'll keep those thunderstorms in place through tonight, turning scattered in coverage and then beginning to clear out tomorrow for a time before we gear up for the next disturbance, which arrives for our Friday evening. All right, it's time now for a CRW Fly Forecast connecting West Virginia to the world, looking at some of the destinations here. Florida in particular, I'm going to make note, it's been very hot and muggy there, along with pretty active weather, and that looks to be the case still as we go forward. Our temperatures mid to upper 70s across the region with, again, thunderstorm threats for today. Some of our communities getting into the 80s like Moorfield and Petersburg. How about Pineville at 82 degrees? Here's our extended forecast. We mentioned those cold fronts keeping the heat in check, mainly in the 80s and 70s.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour, navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 5:06 in West Virginia, and it's time to start the third and final hour of our program today, Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in today, folks. I do appreciate it. Appreciate it more than you know. We got a lot of stuff to get into in this particular hour. Man, we have a lot of responses to our question of the day. We're going to get that reset here in just a moment. It is the Thursday at the top of the 5, so that means Amy Smith is going to join us. Amy is one of our favorite guests. She's one of our most popular guests. She comes on once a week at 5 o'clock on Thursday to talk about your individual stocks. There you go. Now, we always do the financial report at the top of the 4 o'clock hour where we talk about what's going on in the major markets, West Virginia-related stocks, energy prices, crypto, and we've been doing commodities the last few weeks as well. But I'd just like to chop out about 10 minutes a week where you get to send your questions in with the individual stocks for Amy or any thoughts you might have about the general direction of the financial markets. And the markets have been going great. We took a little bit of a detour today. The Dow was down over 700 points. But in generally speaking, the markets have been going pretty well. But I just want to give you a chance to send in your questions for Amy Smith. So we're doing that as we do every Thursday at 5 o'clock. The text line here is 304-TALK 304, 304-825-5304. I'm on X2 at Weekly, WEEKLEY. And for those of you who have already sent in your questions for today's segment with Amy, I have seen them. We will also reset our question of the day. We got a bunch of responses to that. We'll play in or out. That'll be coming up at 5:25. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, out of the box today, doing some personal stuff. That's okay. Our bench is deep. We haven't really talked too much about Mountaineer sports today. We'll try to fix that at 5:33. We love having Couz Walker from Couz's Corner, his YouTube channel where he talks primarily about WVU sports. on the show when we can. We haven't had him on in a while, so Couz will be joining us. That'll be at 5:33 this afternoon. Then we'll probably try to play some of the highlights of the Reds game this afternoon. What a wild game against the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals get 6 runs in the top of the 9th inning. An error extended the inning. They scored 6 unearned runs in the frame. Then in the bottom of the inning, the bottom of the 9th inning, the Reds come back and score 4 to make it a 1-run game. They have the bases loaded, and Matt McLain at the plate. McLain had hit a grand slam earlier today. He hit a sharp liner to the outfield that Jordan Walker caught for the Cardinals to end the game. So the Cardinals win that game over the Reds 10-9. The Pirates are off tonight. They will be in L.A. to take on the Dodgers for the weekend starting tomorrow night. And the Dirty Birds are in action tonight. They had 3 wins in a row against Hagerstown. They were off on Monday. They've lost back-to-back games at Gastonia. They'll play Gastonia again tonight. And we're also keeping our eye on what's going on in soccer. It's the opening night for the Marshall men and the WVU men. And the WVU women are hosting Penn State tonight at 7 o'clock in a game featuring 2 top 25 teams. And right now the Marshall women are playing their first game of the season on the road at High Point, and they're on the wrong end of this so far. High Point leads the herd, getting close to halftime 3-0. All right, here's our question of the day. Let's go ahead and get that set. Breakfast cereal. Talking about breakfast cereal, it continues to be on the decline. In America, only 12% of the households have any boxes of cereal in the kitchen at all, believe it or not. So here's the hotline question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. What cereals are in your house right now, and what were your favorite cereals as a kid? That's the question of the day. What cereals are in your house right now, and what were your favorite cereals as a kid? And we got a ton of responses to this. Let me get a couple of quick responses here, and then we'll talk to Amy Smith. Let's see here. Oh, man, we have got a ton of response to this about cereal. 304-476. Dave, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is in my house now. My favorite milk accompaniment is either Chips Ahoy or Oreo cookies. I had 2 Oreos for lunch. They're great. 681-981. Dave, no longer in the 240. I have an unopened box of Wheaties with Cal Ripken Jr., Raisin Bran with Shatner, and a Prince of Thieves box tie into the movie. That's pretty interesting, too. 304-575. Dave, in my house now. I've got Raisin Bran, Apple Jacks. How about that? Apple Jacks. And chocolate Frosted Flakes. My favorite as a kid, Sugar Smacks and Cocoa Krispies. Oh, man, that's right in my lane. Well, we got a ton of response to this. More of that in a minute. But you know what? I want to talk about the financial market. So let's get Amy Smith out here. Now, Amy Smith is in Los Angeles. She worked at Investors Business Daily for years, but she's from West Virginia, don't you know? From the Elkins area, and she is, after all, the shine and pride of Randolph County, and she joins me now on a very, very interesting day for the markets. Amy, how you doing this afternoon?
Well, Dave, we broke our streak here.
I know.
We were doing so well here. Every time I came on the show, the market was great. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. We had a rough market day. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We have the rising Treasury yields, got higher oil, we got disappointing earnings from Walmart. We just got hit today.
I want to start with Walmart. So it's really interesting because Target reported earnings, and Target, which was kind of left for dead, has turned out to be a really good stock. I mean, I think it's up over 50% on the year. Walmart got whacked today. Walmart is one of the major employers here in the state of West Virginia. What's your take on WMT?
Yeah, isn't it a shame? 2 big box retailers. Now, Target has a new CEO, so that's part of, what they're trying to turn around there. There's a lot of things happened with Walmart. So they had disappointing comparable sales growth. They had a hit to their drug prices caused by changes to Medicare, their regulations on prescriptions. The CEO said that consumers also continue to face a squeeze. The one upshot was they're going to use the $2.9 billion in tariff relief funds to keep prices low. So that's good news for the consumer, but yeah, the stock really got whacked today.
Yeah, that's kind of the Sam Walton playbook, right? I mean, where they try to keep prices low and, because they want people to come in and buy things, and people buy tons of stuff here in West Virginia at Walmart. I don't know, Amy. I'm looking at this. I think it might be a little oversold here, losing 10% in a day.
Yeah, it definitely was a reaction. I mean, there was some institutional dumping. Some people that owned the stock dumped it. Probably was. You're probably right. It's overdone, especially because Target, it had such a good report. For Walmart to be punished that much it was a little extreme. But then again, we can't fight the ticker. You have to take a look at what the ticker's doing. You can't fight it.
Let me get a question for you from one of our listeners. This was pretty good. I like this question. Dave, please ask Amy if she would recommend either a mutual fund or an index fund to represent a significant portion of a newly opened custodial account with a long-term vision. Thank you for your time. That's a good question. Would you recommend a mutual fund or an index fund to represent a significant portion of a newly opened custodial account?
I would absolutely go with an S&P index fund. You can go to Vanguard, so you're not paying a lot of money. I would not go with a mutual fund. I'll tell you what, most of them underperform, and that's just the truth of it. You can get fancy money managers and all this. They usually underperform. It is just best to go with a simple S&P index fund, and over the long run, you'll be in great shape, especially if this is a custodial account.
Yeah, nobody asked me, but I agree with that. I agree with that. Over the long term, you got lower fees as well. I mean, lower fees are involved here. And if you're into a situation and it's a long-term situation, 15 plus years, you're right. I mean, over the course of history, the index funds are going to do a superior job to mutual funds in this individual's question, I think. So that
absolutely. And you know what I always just try to say, when you can, just add a little bit here and a little bit there. You will be very pleased. You'll be kind of shocked. You'll open up the portfolio maybe a couple of years, 3-5 years, and you'll go, wow, like it was really worth it to do that.
Yeah, over the long term, I mean, broad distribution. There's tax implications as well. Yeah, the index fund, I think, is the choice there. All right, you sent me a little bit of a note about Home Depot. What do you think about HD here?
This is another one. They kind of didn't have much of a reaction to their earnings. They had some adjusted, revenue, comp sales and everything. The management stressed that the larger discretionary projects, people redoing big things around their homes where they could buy, a lot of stuff from Home Depot, and the stuff that requires financing, those are the things that remain under pressure. So people are in the economy. They're still spending. People are still going out to eat. I see, pretty robust economy at where we live in all different kind of neighborhoods. But as far as these great big projects that people are doing, these home improvements, they're kind of putting those off. They're being a little careful with higher oil prices. So Home Depot, the stock didn't have a terrible reaction, but it would definitely not be a buy here.
What do you think about the big money center banks here? Some of the bigger names had a little bit of a pullback today, and including JPM. What do you think about money center banks?
Well, when the market gets jittery, everybody kind of goes along with it. But you're right. As far as you're taking a look at J.P. Morgan, and I'm pulling that up, and you're right, it pulled back today. I think that the higher Treasury yields, that's definitely it's definitely on everyone's mind. So when you see everything pulling back, I would just be cautious here.
Also, I wanted to ask you about the big integrated oils. I mean, we're seeing oil prices, WTI closing up near 90 again today. I'm just looking at the Chevrons, the Exxons, XOM today, closing in on $170 a share. Would you be taking a little off the top here? I mean, how much longer can this go on?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we still have Iran rattling around and saying all kinds of things. The oil, you're right. At some point, when we do get a break in all of this, the oil will decline. And you mentioned Exxon, you mentioned Chevron. Yeah, I would probably be profit taking here, but then again, I can't look into a crystal ball and say what's going to happen in the Middle East. I mean, at this point, I guess anything could happen, and oil prices could go higher. But I think maybe I'd do some profit taking.
Hey, biotech has really been a tough space, but Moderna yesterday, I mean, what an amazing move. Is it too late to make a play on Moderna here? If they really, what do you think about that?
Yeah, of course, it was a cancer vaccine promising, late-stage trials. It sounds great. The stock really soared yesterday, over 100%. It was down 23% today. I think, people went in, they blasted it yesterday. It went so high. There was profit taking today. I think that move is over with.
Yeah, I think so too. Are you a little concerned about the bond market here? I mean, the yields are just continue to be way up.
Well, yeah. And we even had the Treasury Department say, on Wednesday, yesterday, they're going to double the level of government debt buybacks. Now, that made the market happy yesterday, but it didn't last very long. Yeah, I'm definitely concerned. When these Treasury yields rise, the cost of borrowing money increases across the economy. The Treasury acts as a benchmark, so we got higher yields. That leads to more expensive mortgages. I was just talking to Coop about that. More expensive auto loans and corporate debt. And all those things are going to pressure the market. So, yes, we're very concerned about that.
All right, got to leave it there. Amy, great to talk to you. You know what? Next week, let's start a new streak. How's that sound?
Yes. I'll try my best.
All right, Amy Smith, talking about the financial markets. Amy, thanks. Have a great week.
You too.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll play in or out in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Ready to make this boating season unforgettable? Head to Lou Wendell Marine Sales, family owned and operated for over 40 years and West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Lou and his sons are boating experts from sales to service to repairs. And right now, their lot is packed with incredible inventory and some of the best deals of the season. Whether it's weekends on the lake or sunset cruises with the family, Lou Wendell Marine Sales has your perfect boat waiting, because they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com today.
It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon this Thursday and Friday, raising money to support the incredible care provided by WVU Medicine Golisano Children's. From life-saving treatments to the little comforts that help make a child's stay a little easier. Your donation helps keep those programs going. Now, you can text the word WVU Kids to 34984 for a link to donate via credit or debit, PayPal, Apple Pay, or Venmo. It's the WVRC Media Cares for Kids Radiothon supporting WVU Medicine Golisano Children's this Thursday and Friday.
You can call us at 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-825-5304. Or tweet at WEEKLEY. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season, the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart, only on Metro News Television.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. We've discounted over 100 pre-owned vehicles this month, most of which are local one-owner trades. Great deals on all our Toyota trucks, and with over 90 in stock, now is the time to get yours. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for all the support over 23 years. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
I think many people have a misconception that all that we do is infertility care, and that's not the case. Reproductive health matters whether or not you're trying to conceive. So we can be dealing with endometriosis, ovulation dysfunction, PCOS. You're getting linked up with all the specialties that you need to optimize your care. And being an advocate for your reproductive health is important. The most rewarding times that I have is when I'm empowering people to take control of their health.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniels Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
All right, welcome back. 524. Hey, Coop, look who I found. Wandering the halls. Matt Guitar Murphy.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
He was just out wandering around. I said, come on in. Come in, brother. We'll give you shelter from the storm.
I snuck out of class to go to the water fountain.
There you go. Don't put your mouth around the thing.
Yeah. I hate that when that happens. Every day at this time, we focus on the stuff you talk about at the office or the water cooler.
The bubbler.
Yeah, the bubbler. We like to call it in or out. The setup is simple. 3 categories: food or beverage, gut reaction. Finally, this one's about a celebrity, the topics of which change daily. Let's get started with food or beverage. Coop, are you ready to go?
I think I can.
Because today is National Lemonade Day. Today is National Lemonade Day. National Lemonade Day. It marks the day to celebrate the refreshing beverage and the historic debut of lemonade vendors in Paris, August 20th, 1630.
Wow.
Lemonade recipes date back to the Egyptians in the 12th century. Lemonade, in or out?
Man, I am hugely in on lemonade. I'm a big fan of lemonade. It's one of my favorite go-to drinks. I find a lot of lemonade that people make I can cut with water because, man, some people make it so not sour but sweet. Like they're making it like Southern sweet tea or something. I don't need my lemonade like that. I like lemonade. I like to taste the lemon in it. But anyway, I'm a huge fan. I'm in.
Matt, what are your thoughts here? Lemonade on National Lemonade Day.
Guys, the only thing lemon goes on is a great piece of fish. It should not at any point be squeezed into a beverage. It is just terrible.
What?
I'm so sorry. I'm out.
He's out on lemonade.
Like lemon and water?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
You know, I thought you were going to maybe have a problem with pulp or something, but you're just out on the whole concept.
Like the little seed that gets in your water.
Give me orange, give me lime, give me grapefruit all day long. Lemon.
Give me orange, give me lime, give me.
Right. I'm in on lemonade. Yeah, I'm in on lemonade. Let's see. Gut reaction is next. I want to talk to you guys about a new show on Netflix. I don't know if you heard about this. Netflix is developing a new dating docuseries tentatively titled Wait to Date. Wait is spelled W-E-I-G-H-T.
Oh, boy.
Wait to Date.
Oh, boy.
It follows singles who have undergone significant weight loss as they navigate romance and identity. A show, Wait to Date, on Netflix. In or out?
The thing with this is that, like, I know you 2026, and so like any intellectual curiosity that there could be, and as somebody that lost 140 pounds, although I was married when it happened, I could see where that could be an interesting discussion to have. Look at this different way that people react to me and different things along. I mean, I could see how that could be an interesting documentary of some kind. But this is 2026. This is Netflix, man. It's going to be absolute garbage. I'm out.
Going to be out. The casting call asks, are you ready to find love after a significant body change?
Wow.
Netflix, Wait to Date. In or out?
The only show that I can think of that has ever been created that might be worse than this concept was Teen Mom.
Don't say that around Rusty Webb.
It sounds like a lot of drama to me.
Yeah.
I gotta be out.
Man, Netflix is so big. Man,
do you trust them that much?
They're so big. I got to slightly be in on this. This is going.
You know how sometimes seasons will have like subtitles, like season 2 will be called something else. It'll be like next year. It could be like heavy problems, you know,
I know.
and then like the lightweight years or whatever. Like there's tons of puns.
Man, people watch this stuff. They watch this.
Yeah,
stuff.
because people like garbage.
And
they need to listen to the radio more.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really agree with that. All right, finally, this one's about a celebrity, Pierce Brosnan. He is joining the cast, speaking of Netflix, their action film Extraction 3 with Chris Hemsworth. You know, we already see him on Mobland, Remington Steele. I think he's like 73, 74 years old. We're talking about Pierce Brosnan, in or out.
What a handsome older man, too. Holy cow, man. I could only hope when I'm his age. He's a handsome older man. I like that you brought up Pierce Brosnan. I've been holding this ever since we've had to kick him for a couple days. One of my favorite movies that I just stumbled across and watched one time is a Western called Saffron Falls. It's sort of an existential, weird little Western that he was in from several years ago. Absolutely love that movie. I'm a fan of Pierce Brosnan, going all the way back to the Remington days. So, yeah, I'm in, man.
All right. What do you think, Matt? Pierce Brosnan, in or out?
Well, I've been out on everything else, so I've got to be in on something, and this is going to be it.
Hey, how about this? We've been talking about the guy, and we're not even talking about the era where he was, I don't know, James Bond.
Exactly, man.
Okay?
He's been a lot.
I'm in on Pierce Brosnan. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
Well, absolutely.
All right, Coop, don't leave because we got another half hour to
What?
go. All right, let's take a break. We're talking about the Mountaineers next. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hi, everyone. I'm Metro News TV meteorologist Susie Martin. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a series of fronts that will be impacting us, bringing in rounds of storms today, and yet another one arriving for the weekend. So planning on some more active weather. The big concern at this point is the flash flooding risk, because we do have a lot of moisture to work with. So we'll talk about that. But these fronts are also going to keep our warmth in check. So just as temperatures start to warm up, we get hit with a cold front, kind of evening everything out over the course of the coming days. But here's today's setup. We have this area of low pressure that will be tracking a cold front our way, hence generating rounds of thunderstorms. We also have this disturbance along the East Coast, which is going to actually give some oomph to some of those storms. There is a more elevated risk for severe weather for our friends in DC, but some of the storms across eastern and southern West Virginia could be a bit on the strong side. However, the main concern is the flash flooding potential. It's marginal, so not everybody's going to get in on intense rain, but the downpours are very real. We've got a lot of moisture to deal with, so localized flooding cannot be ruled out. Please be mindful of that. We'll keep those thunderstorms in place through tonight, turning scattered in coverage and then beginning to clear out tomorrow for a time before we gear up for the next disturbance, which arrives for our Friday evening. All right, it's time now for a CRW Fly Forecast connecting West Virginia to the world, looking at some of the destinations here. Florida in particular, I'm going to make note, it's been very hot and muggy there, along with pretty active weather, and that looks to be the case still as we go forward. Our temperatures mid to upper 70s across the region with, again, thunderstorm threats for today. Some of our communities getting into the 80s like Moorfield and Petersburg. How about Pineville at 82 degrees? Here's our extended forecast. We mentioned those cold fronts keeping the heat in check, mainly in the 80s and 70s.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah,
this
if you can handle Randolph County.
I mean, you're moving. This is basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen, I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one. 304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, it's terrible. Read the guy's mind.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back. 26 till the hour. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, not with us today. He's got some personal stuff he's taking care of today. It happens. It happens. Although, Coop, when it comes to like our regular guests making slot, we got a really good track record with most of these people, right?
Yeah, people are very kind to us and with their time.
Yeah.
Much like Couz coming up here in a minute. We're always very appreciative when folks take 5 or 10 minutes out of their day to talk to us for a few minutes, especially some of these folks that have been with us for over a decade now, and in some cases almost a decade and a half, and have basically rarely or never missed slot. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and we have a lot of people that flow in and out of the show. It's a 3-hour show, so there's a lot of moving parts. Anyway, Kevin will be back with us next week, but Couz Walker coming up in a sec to talk about Mountaineer sports. We haven't really talked too much about that today. Oh, speaking of Mountaineer sports, if you follow me on X, I put this poll out today, and I thought it was a good day to put this out because the Cardinals are playing the Reds. St. Louis beat Cincinnati this afternoon 10-3. It's really interesting. Here's the question I put out there today on Twitter, X. In southern West Virginia, there are some WVU fans who are also Cincinnati Reds fans. So who do you want to see win the National League Rookie of the Year award? So this poll's been out there for a few hours, and it was running about 50-50 for a while, but now J.J. Weatherholt has taken the lead. He's got the lead on Sal Stewart with about 64%, and Stewart's in there at just over 36%. So you've got time if you want to vote. So that's the Twitter poll we have. In southern West Virginia, there are some WVU fans who are also Reds fans. Who do you want to see win the National League Rookie of the Year award? Sal Stewart of the Reds, who leads the National League. Does he lead Major League Baseball or just the National League?
As of last night, it was all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah. And Weatherholt scored 3 runs today for the Cardinals, and he got hit again. He got hit by a pitch for the 16th time this season. That happens a lot. If you go back to that period in April where he was hit in 5 games in a row, that's really odd, not for just a player, but for a rookie. But that happened to Weatherholt.
I just chuckle when everybody says he's really unlucky. I'm like, he's not unlucky getting hit. That's getting on base, man.
Yeah, getting on base.
That is I'm not saying he's jumping out in front of pitches, but it is a skill to get hit without getting hurt. Yeah. And not doing that on accident 16 times.
Yeah, and I said in the 3 o'clock hour that Herrera of the Cardinals leads Major League Baseball in that category. So I think this is kind of a Cardinals thing.
You think? You think the Cardinals find every single way to get on base any way they can? It's within the rules.
Yeah, sure, it's in the rules.
It's the Cardinal way.
Yeah, Herrera's been hit by almost 30 pitches so far this year.
You don't have to get out of the way that quickly.
Let's see. Also, a question of the day. And we have a ton of response to this. We're going to focus in on this after our next commercial break. Breakfast cereal continues to be on the decline. In America, only 12% of households have any boxes of cereal in the kitchen at all. That's hard to believe, but that's the truth. Here's the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. What cereals are in your house right now? And what was your favorite cereal or cereals as a kid? What cereals are in your house right now? And what were your favorite cereals as a kid? Respond. Text those in. 304-TALK 304. 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY. We got a ton of response to this. We'll do those in a bit. But let me get Couz Walker in here to talk about the Mountaineers with the football season drawing a little closer. And there's some WVU stuff going on. Soccer for men and women at WVU opening the season. The WVU Big 12 baseball schedule was released today. Couz, how you doing?
Doing great, Dave. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, let me ask you. Coop and I were talking about this in the break. Your first name is Justin, right? Your given name is Justin Walker, correct?
That's correct, yes.
So how'd you get the nickname Couz? How did that happen?
In the 7th grade, I was playing basketball, and somebody on my team said, "Hey, that looks like Bob Cousy out there," as a joke, and they started calling me Cousy, and over time it got shortened to Couz, and it stuck.
Well, I think it's a great nickname, and you've obviously taken to it because that's the name of your YouTube channel, which gets more and more followers. How many subscribers do you have on your YouTube channel now?
I'm up to about 10,700 ballpark, something like that.
That's
inching closer to 11,000.
That is fantastic, man. That's going really well for you. So I was watching one of your recent episodes last night where I thought this was funny and kind of important that you felt like you needed to do an episode because you found a national media guy who actually likes West Virginia's chances this season. They've been kind of rare.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to pound the table and yell disrespect when people are picking them to win 3 games, which I find asinine, then I better do the same when somebody picks them to win 7 games.
So what do you think the theory is on why the national media just doesn't like West Virginia in this particular season?
I think they're basing it mainly on the fact that West Virginia is bringing back over 80 new players, and they just look at that and go, there's no way they can be good, And if you're just looking at it on the surface, that makes sense. But what I think, and I get it, a national reporter, he's covering all the teams. He doesn't have time probably to sit and study West Virginia's roster and their spring ball and all this. So they're probably just running with what little information they have in a lot of cases. But if you dig really deep, I don't see how in the world you can pick West Virginia to be worse or even, the same as last year.
Coop, we have a little bit of Rich Rod from yesterday's press conference. It was in the Sound of Sports today where he talks about Coastal Carolina. We'll play a clip when we get done with Couz. Hey, Couz, I wanted to ask you also, I'm sure you watched that presser with Rich Rod yesterday. It was at 6 o'clock. He seemed kind of steamed, okay?
He was.
Seemed a little hot under the collar. Do you see that as a good thing or a bad thing for a head coach with the season so close?
I think you got to take it. I think it's within context of who the coach is, but for Rich Rod, I think it's a good thing because that guy's he's never fully satisfied, and I think it just shows that his passion and willing, his desire to win, and they're still 2 to 3 weeks out from a game, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with that, but it's really interesting, and it kind of makes sports unique, right? I mean, if you saw a CEO stand up and be on television and be upset and act the way Rich Rod was acting yesterday, you'd be a little concerned, right? But when it's a football coach, you're kind of like, hey, man, I like the cut of your jib. I kind of like to see that you've got a little bit of an edge. Absolutely. And especially, for those of us who remember Rich Rod, and that's just how that's the cloth he's cut from, man. That's just who he is, So let me ask you this. One of the things that got talked about in his presser yesterday was, and this always happens at the beginning of the season before the opening game, which freshman will make the biggest impact. So I want to ask you, who do you think is going to have a bigger impact on the West Virginia football team that's a freshman this fall, Matt Sigg or Kevin Brown? I think it'll be Kevin Brown just for the simple fact I think he's going to be a starter, and I'm not sure Sigg will be. I think he'll play a lot, don't get me wrong. But I think, if he's going to be the starting left tackle, which it appears he may be, then I think, I automatically pencil him in as that guy with the biggest impact. But I look for both of them to have a major impact, and Mari Latimer as well at running back. Yeah. One more question also about individual players. What's your take on the discussion that West Virginia's got 2 quarterbacks that we might see Fox and Hawkins? What are your thoughts on potentially a 2 quarterback system? I don't buy it. I think that's a lot of people either wishing for that who might be Hawkins or might be Fox loyalists, which is, I get. But I think Rich Rod, I think if he has his guy, he'll roll with him. Obviously barring injury or a blowout or something like that. But I don't necessarily think it'll be a 2 quarterback system. Yeah. Could you tell, reading between the lines, WVU's got another scrimmage this coming weekend in Morgantown. Do you think that there are starting positions that are still up for grabs, or do you think Rich Rod already has in his mind who's going to start? I think he knows the majority. There might be a couple that are still up for grabs, but I feel like probably, the majority of the roster is probably already decided as far as the starting, maybe even the 2 deep. But he probably has a couple more positions he wants to, weed out, but or
decide who his starters are. But I think for the most part, he already knows. He's just not telling us who that is.
Do you think that most people, including the coaching staff, anticipate that Hawkins will be the starting quarterback when they play Coastal?
I do. I think it's the worst kept secret in Morgantown, to be honest.
How do you feel about that?
Dave, I just want him to win, man. If he's the guy, go win football games. I like it. I think he's a perfect fit for what Rich Rod wants to do. And what it tells me is, since you got a guy in Fox who already has experience in the offense, if Hawkins is even better than him, then he must be pretty darn good. So.
All right. Well, I'll let you go. But, hey, thanks for coming on the show today, and thanks for the story about your nickname. The nickname, your nickname, I had no idea that it was because of Bob Cousy, the legendary point guard, first at Holy Cross and then with the Boston Celtics. And it follows one of the great rules of nicknames. You can't give yourself a nickname. Somebody else has to give it to you.
Yep, that's the best way to do it, man. It's the only real way to do it. But it's just amazing that it stuck all these years later.
Hey, are you got something you're going to be doing tonight on your YouTube channel?
I'm actually prepping for I'm going to try my hand at a morning show. I'm going to try to do a morning live stream tomorrow morning about 7 a.m.
Wow, okay.
So I'm actually working on putting that show together at the moment.
Well, listen, I enjoy your channel. Best of luck, and I'll be checking you out tomorrow.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to be on with you.
Justin Couz Walker from Couz's Corner talking about Mountaineer sports. Coop, we have that clip from Rich Rod? Yeah, I thought this was interesting. Yesterday you got a question about when will it be time to start putting the game plan in for the season opening game against Coastal Carolina? Here he is.
Yeah, all the stuff that we've done some work on it that handles a little bit of everything, but kind of laser and starting to focus a little bit more on, some of the schemes that they do on all three phases will be something we'll start looking at a little bit more. Typically, it's 2 weeks out when we start having scout teams and it's full on 40 minutes of teamwork against what they do and all that stuff. This will be 15 minutes of, hey, a little bit of Coastal look and go from there.
All right, so there you go. There's Rich Rod on when you start thinking about the season opening game. West Virginia is going to open the season, of course, with the Chanticleers from Coastal Carolina in the Sun Belt. Let's take a quick break. We're coming back with more in a moment.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The conversation starts long before the game.
Hey, you want a heavy swag purchase?
Well, one of my things, I love gear from events.
Okay.
I just love. That's a thing. I gotta go get gear.
Well, you're not alone because there's a lot of people.
A lot of people. When my daughter was little and participating in karate, we'd go up to Weir and be at an event. I'm like, right, I'm a T-shirt we got. Let's get a T-shirt for Let's get a T-shirt.
3 Guys Before the Game. Available on Metro News Television.
It's our 23rd anniversary, and to celebrate, we're having a huge anniversary sale all month long on all Toyota trucks and pre-owned vehicles. Thank you for 23 years, Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
At Daniels Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniels is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniels.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
A lot of patients come here without much hope, and I think we can give them hope.
We offer a full spectrum of interventions suitable for every kind of person that walks through our door. We do absolutely everything we can to help you achieve your family building goals.
Okay, so we're going to do public math. So he won 9 his second year at West Virginia, 5 his second year at Michigan, 8 his second year at Arizona, second year at Jack State, he won 9, so it's 31 divided by 4.
Yeah, just under 8 per win or per season.
So there you go, Hunter. You can just forget about everything else and just mark it down.
Put Tony and I down for 8, Coach Hunter. Put us on the prediction show for 8. We already got it.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
All right, welcome back. About 11 minutes till the hour. We're going to get into a couple of responses to our question of the day here in a second, but man, what a crazy ending to this Cardinals-Reds game earlier today in Cincinnati, a businessman special, 12:35 start, end of a 5-game series, a game in which the Reds were 1 out away from winning it. The Cardinals score 6 unearned runs in the top of the ninth. The Reds counter with 4. It's 10-9. There are 2 outs. In the bottom of the ninth, the Reds have the bases loaded, and Matt McLain, who had already hit a grand slam in this game, at the plate.
Nowhere to put Stevenson. 3-0. Ball 4. It's a 1-run game. This is one of the most nuts 9th innings that I have ever seen.
The 2-1 pitch to McLain, who has 4 RBIs today. He swings and sends it to right field. Walker moving back. He reaches. He makes the catch on the track. That's a Redbird winner.
So there you go. I mean, he hit the ball right on the screws, and Jordan Walker, who had 4 RBIs in the game, including a 3-run homer for St. Louis, makes the catch and ends the game. And here is Terry Francona, the manager of the Reds, after the game, talking about that error with 2 outs in the top of the ninth that opened the door for the Cardinals' comeback.
Toughest ways to lose a game that you've experienced?
Yeah, I mean, TJ looked like he was fighting the sun, and I was kind of glad that Myers called him off. He just didn't look it into his glove, and it just glanced off.
From your vantage point, is that a center fielder's ball most of the time there?
Well, because TJ's fighting the sun, like I said, I was glad he called him off. TJ, the real estate was there. He just, you could tell he was fighting it a little bit.
It really turned out, I mean, that's amongst the craziest 9th innings I've ever seen.
Yeah, because I thought McLain's ball, I mean, they played very deep as an outfield to begin with, and then no doubles, but I thought it had enough.
But it didn't. But it did not. So there you go. There's Terry Francona after the game. Well, probably one of the wildest games of the year for the Reds. They lose it 10-9 to St. Louis. All right, question of the day. Breakfast cereal continues to be on the decline. In America, only 12%, virtually 1 in 10 households have any boxes of cereal in the kitchen at all. The question, and it was sponsored by Salango Law, what cereals are in your house right now? What were your favorite cereals as a kid? We got a ton of response to this. 304-421. Good afternoon, Dave and Coop. Well, good afternoon yourself. I'm a fan of Life cereal, but I rarely buy it. My husband is a regular user of Raisin Bran with crunchy chunks, and I buy the Kroger brand instead of the brand name because it's less than half the price. It's every bit as good as the name brand. We had not consumed milk in our house for a long time until it was declared that whole milk was actually better for you than skim milk. I buy 7 Sundays online, which is a very nutritious granola cereal, but I buy it to put on yogurt and fruit. Oh, what a nice detailed message. I appreciate that. 304-546. Dave, we buy Frosted Flakes and grape nuts. You sprinkle the grape nuts in so that you actually still have a crunch. Love it. That's from Kathy. How you doing, Kathy? Thanks for sending that in. Let's see. 304-471. Dave, I don't have any cereal now, but my favorites growing up were in the 1980s. I loved Captain Crunch and Apple Jacks, And Coop, this person sent me photos. You know, it's so funny. I was reading that 90% of the advertising that the big brands like Post and Kellogg's did back in the heyday, the late 80s and the early 90s, went for Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, for sure. And that reminds me, this is the one thing I wanted to mention. You can send texts in on this, and I'll read them later because I'm really interested. If there was anybody else out there around my age, I'm in my early 50s, that was obsessed with Smurfberry Crunch, because that cereal would tear your mouth to pieces. The little berries in it, I loved it so much. But man, if you didn't let it set for about 4.5 hours in some milk, it was like eating gravel. But oh my goodness, it was such a good hurt because I loved those things. I wonder if anybody else remembers those.
So people of a certain age, when you say Count Chocula, right? Yeah. Or you say Captain
Crunch.
Crunch.
Still around, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Now, I can ask Ryan when he's here tomorrow. I'm going to guess that I'll get a blank stare if I say Count Chocula. He probably wouldn't.
I think it's still around.
You think it's still around?
Sure. I know Captain Crunch is. We bought that recently. In fact, Peanut Butter Captain Crunch is one of my faves.
We got so many responses to this. A lot of this stuff's going in the follow-up file tomorrow at around 3:50-ish. Here's another response, 304-444. Dave, in my house today, I've got Crispix and Honey Bunches of Oats. My favorite cereal as a kid was Cocoa Pebbles and Count Chocula. We just mentioned it. We are still a big cereal family. Growing up, the only way you could get my parents to buy my favorite cereals was the double coupon week at Kroger. Well, you know we had to get a Kroger mention in there. We have a lot of response to this. We'll do more of this tomorrow. Let's take a quick break, and we're wrapping it up for the day in a moment.
Being isolated and lonely can be harmful to your health, resulting in high blood pressure, a greater risk of heart disease, and early onset dementia. So it's important to build and maintain social connections. Try a new hobby, volunteer, exercise, or use your phone or other device to stay in touch. Visit connecttoeffect.org to find resources and ways to stay connected. Presented by AARP Foundation with support from United Healthcare.
Hey, everything okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Honey. Hey, I'm here for you. Tell me about school today.
When kids can't find the right words, music can help them sound it out. Talk to the kids in your life about their emotional well-being. Find tools and resources at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
To the big-hearted, the bold, the teachers, the growers, the builders, the change makers. We need you. We are the Peace Corps. In more than 60 countries, we go the distance to make a difference. We're volunteers, partners, communities, bringing our experience, joy, and passion to building a better world together. Are you looking for more? Then we are looking for you. Join us at peacecorps.gov.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down.
I know where to find support and where I can be seen.
Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Learn more at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Every day, we fight to preserve magnificent places and wildlife, to keep our water and air safe, and to advance clean energy and combat climate change. We're Earth Justice, a national legal nonprofit fighting for your right to a healthy environment. We're Earth Justice, and we're here because the Earth needs a good lawyer. No one fights and wins more cases on the environment than we do. Want to join us in this fight? The time is now. Go to earthjustice.org today. That's earthjustice.org.
I was proud to be a soldier.
I told the truth and got kicked out.
And so I thought to myself, I'm taking this rule down.
If you're an LGBTQ plus veteran, your memories are important too. Share your story with the Library of Congress Veterans History Project, where firsthand accounts from U.S. military veterans are preserved and made accessible for researchers and future generations. Visit loc.gov/vets to submit your stories, photographs, and documents today.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for the show today. We thank you so much for listening, sending your answers to our question of the day and more. Stay tuned for the news at the top of the hour, and Sportsline is on the other side. My name's Dave Weekley. I will talk to you tomorrow, beginning at 3:06, right here on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Hotline on the Metro News Network is presented by Salango Law, salangolaw.com. Hear Hotline weekdays from 3 until 6 on this Metro News station or WVMetronews.com. Visit the site or your favorite podcast service for past shows and features. This has been Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.